There we go. Just had to turn the volume down on the speakers. Volume down on the speakers. Today's gonna be Fridays. I'm gonna be training for marathon distance run on the treadmill, 4 miles an hour. I'm thinking 2% grade instead of the 4% grade that I usually do with the 90-minute workouts. But this is going to be for a charity fundraiser. I want to do like a marathon distance. I want to do like people want to pledge on it. I hope they do. Make donations or anything. I was going to go for 26 miles today. It's 6.5 hours. I'm only going to do like 3 or 4. I'm going to keep the machine at 4 miles an hour. I'm going to put a 2% pitch on it, and I'll probably shoot my mouth off and babble. Anyway. Oh shit. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Yeah, this treadmill I've been beating on it, and it keeps coming back for some. So here we go. I'm going to do like either 3 or 4 1-hour sessions with a 5-minute rest in between. And I just want to see how I feel after that. Next week, I think I'm going to be a little more organized, and I'll get to this at like maybe hopefully by like 11 a.m. And that's usually when 11:30. That's usually when we start the 90-minute. But for this, I want to start as early as possible. Maybe for 10 a.m. That way I'm done by like 4:05. Anyway, I'm starting off. I gotta take my second Wellbutrin too. And that's 18 minutes away, so I'm gonna stick this here. That's 18 minutes away. I can do that one. That's 18 minutes away. I can do this. Oh yeah. There's a 2% grade, and there's a 2% grade, and I just lubricated this thing, and I think I over-lubricated it. Awesome. It's making the walk like that. Very interesting. I'm sure it'll spread out. Whoa. This might actually be more entertaining than it might actually be. I set an alarm for 2. I think this is my 3rd week on Wellbutrin. Or 2nd week. I lost track. But already at least like 5 times I missed the effort. I don't really do those. Yeah, I definitely put too much lubricant. If my foot drags too much, I could feel it slide. I could feel the belt slide. I got 2 Gatorades. I think I might do the lunge workout on Tuesday instead of Thursday. One of my workouts is lunges combined with lat raises. combined flat raises. I did them yesterday. The first set was a little awkward. Second and third set, I think. Much better. And it's just with little 4-pound weights, 4-pound dumbbells. I really don't think it'll ever go beyond 9 or 12 pounds. Because I'm really not looking for much in the way of mass. The lubricant is starting to spread out now. Not really good cotton mouth. Whoa. I didn't warm up today. That's much of an issue. I can do this for 3-4 hours very easily. Last week, I didn't warm up last week either. But next week, before I go on, and row for 26 miles, I'm going to do like a half hour. Low speed on the treadmill. This thing, it really does deserve a review. It's going to be a funny review. It's going to be a very honest review. Bolt fell out of it. Factory installed bolt wasn't one I put in. I put in the bolts for the legs and the platform. And those bolts are still in. The funny thing is, though, is that I still didn't watch the assembly video. But this thing is kind of like torqued. From the order in which I tighten the bolts. And I wonder if they say, leave them kind of like loose, and then tighten them. Like you do when you're tightening lug nuts, lug nuts. You use like a star formation or something. Or you try to balance it out. Going from bolt to bolt. I really wish companies that make things like this, instead of giving you those round-headed bolts with the Allen key insert, it looks better than a hex pattern bolt. When you put these bolts in places that can only be reached by disassembling something, it doesn't matter what the interior bolts of this machine here look like. So use the hex pattern. If they had done that, I could easily go and tighten everything with an open-end wrench. I could easily go and tighten everything with an open-end wrench. You got an opening this big. Open-end wrench got right in there and tighten your bolts. Open-end wrench got right in there and tighten your bolts. Open-end wrench got right in there and tighten your bolts. Open-end wrench got right in there. I'm curious if those French anti-obsolescence laws have things like that. Have things like that. Have things like that. See, the 2% grade is throwing me off a little. 2% grade is throwing me off a little. 2% grade is throwing me off. For a few years before I got my own treadmill. I was doing it at Planet Fitness. And it was always like, I just found my sweet spot was 4%. I think 4% helps wind beat. I don't know. Next week when I do go for the 26, I'm just gonna like taste my mouth. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll keep the microphone off, so it does. I'll keep the microphone off. Yeah. Next week I'm just gonna leave the microphone off the desk. This week, if I do go for 26, I think it's gonna. Since I didn't warm up, I think it's not gonna feel really good. After I did the 21 last week, I took this chair here. And I wheeled it over in the corner and put my feet up on the hamper, and I just sat there for like more than half an hour. Then I went and got a bottle of wine. But I felt like celebrating. I was thinking that after like maybe 9 or 10 miles, I would be like a wheezing heap on the floor. It wasn't maybe 21. And in a half hour, I felt like I didn't have 21. Like I came back from Walmart. Well, you know what? Costco. Yeah. You know what? Did feel like I got a good walk in. I kind of like my hair today. It's going to get all loaded up with sweat. Once a week, I try to do deep conditioning. But and this last week I did it yesterday. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Dog's barking. Oh shit. Oh shit. See, the funny thing is, last week I was going for 26 miles, but I couldn't keep my mouth shut. And today I'm just going for like 12 to 16, and I'm not really saying much. All right, so I do have something funny. I've never gotten in trouble online. I've never gotten suspended on social media, anything like that. I've said some pretty screwed up things. But when I'm getting feisty with someone, I usually say something really like goofy. Goofy. But sometimes it can get dirty. Sometimes it can get usually just absurd. And absurdity is like my favorite form of comedy. I found this band called Anti-Spectacular. And they're really, really good. Their sound is like super refined punk, but their instrumentation, their voicing, everything really good. So I found them on X. And I complimented two of their posts. One was their bass player. They got a bass player singer, and she was playing really nice, intricate bass lines. But it had it wasn't all intricate, but it had but it did it was pieced together so well. The parts, they know their, they might, I don't know if they think about, the world's music theory. It's kind of loaded nowadays. But they know their keys. They know how to play. They're very articulate. And the guitarist is fucking fun. So I bought two of their albums on Bandcamp. I bought both of their albums there too. I love them. They're great. I wanted to go on yesterday. And just tell them, make a little post, mention them. Yeah, I really enjoy him. Can't wait for more. Instead, I saw Jim Cramer. I don't know if you saw what he posted yesterday. It was just a really ugly thing. And it's the usual. Heartless tough guy kind of bullshit at all costs. So I said something really out of character. Something has to do with there we go. Anyway, I said something that got me suspended for 12 hours. But I was kind of proud of it. It was kind of like, we'll suspend you for 12 hours if you remove the post, or if you don't. I think you are indefinitely suspended. Frankly, I don't give a fuck about X. I go on there for Brock immediately. But finding that band, such a wonderful, unexpected thing. They're really good. I like their songwriting. There's one format, one songwriting format they follow. A couple of their songs, and it's done to really good effect. It's not the usual verse, chorus, verse, chorus. And the way it bridges together is really, really nice. Don't ruin the names of the songs, though. I still have to go on and tell them that I like their music. But they're young. And sometimes, when an old fart publicly praises you, I don't think they'll have that problem. They're good enough on their own merit. If I open the windows, the lighting's gonna get all screwed up. It's 2 o'clock. It's gonna look like aliens landing outside. White light. And my room and I will turn to shadow. The sneakers I'm wearing are Skechers. I bought them, I guess like 2006, 2007. I never really wore them much. Wore them to the gym. Never wore them outside until like this year. But they've held up well and they're really comfortable. Before that, I bought a pair of Nikes because they were half price. So they were around $40. They're $80 sneakers. You expect. People say a lot of great things about their shoes. And I just didn't experience that. Maybe you have to get like the $150 pairs. That's the only pair of Nikes I ever had. Yeah, when I played soccer, I had cleats. When I played soccer, Adidas and a few other brands. I might have had a pair of Nikes back then. The cleats, the soccer shoes. The guy I do some work on for, mainly like weed whacking and stuff like that. Gave me a pair of sneakers. gave me, and I looked them up online. They're around like $150, but they're kind of like hiking shoes. And I wear them to when I was going to Planet Fitness to use the treadmill. I was using them. I was wearing them there. And if I could do this fundraiser at a gym, I could use those shoes. Which will carry me a lot further than the old Skechers. But the old Skechers did 21 miles last week. Every once in a while, I get a little static electric. Part of the fun. Right about as I'm about to say something, it starts making that noise. And I think the head of the bolt that fell out is trapped in the plastic cowling that covers the front of the conveyor belt, the front roller. It's in there good. And I think it's off to either. It sounds like it's coming from the left side. I bought one of those magnetic probes, with the gooseneck. Has a little flashlight at the end. Harbor Freight for like, I think it was $6. It's too thick to get in between the frame and the cowling. I'm always afraid of the bolt getting lodged in the roller, and the thing seizing up. Because I'm really not eager to take this thing apart. I'm not a mechanic. I can do a few things, with a car and shit. But not. Like if I do your brakes, you're gonna die. If I do your brakes, you're gonna die. If I do your brakes, you're gonna die. The brakes is a two-man job. I mean, as far as I know, the brakes is a two-man job. When you're bleeding brakes, you need somebody to pump the pedal for you. Somebody to pump the pedal for you. Somebody to pump the pedal for you. If I have like instructions, I can probably put like get everything together correctly. Get everything together correctly. I got this thing together, but this was pretty easy. I got this thing together, but this was pretty easy. I got this thing together, but this was pretty easy. Like that little bolt. Like that little bolt. I gotta get it out of there so I can go to like Home Depot. Gotta get it out of there so I can go to match it up, match up the threads and match it up, match up the threads and match it up. I think it cross-threaded a little bit though. Because the last time I saw it, some of the threads were a little, looked like they were flat threads a little, you know, looked like they were flat threads a little, you know, looked like they were flat threads a little, you know, looked like they were flat threads a little. But this treadmill definitely deserves a good review. This treadmill definitely deserves a good review. This treadmill definitely deserves a good review. It goes up to 8.5 miles an hour. It goes up to. But I wouldn't take it anywhere near that. I think the most I would ever take this. I think is like 5 miles an hour. To me, that's a jog. I can't jog. To me, that's a jog. I'll get winded. I have asthma. And I think you never fully recover from asthma. I asked a couple of like medical people, and they're like, well, you kind of always have it. But I've never really had like a wicked asthma attack. Had shortness of breath, but that was about it. Had shortness of breath, but that was about it. Had shortness of breath, but that was about it. I did take some hits off my inhaler before. About a half hour before. And I don't feel winded at all. I might sound a little winded here and there, but I was also a heavy smoker for 33 years. Started messing with cigarettes when I was like 12, 13. Started smoking in earnest when I was 14. And 14 to 47, 33 years. And the funny thing about it, like that's how I learned about addiction. People ask me, you know, how long did it take you to quit smoking? 33 years. Within like the first couple of months, I tried to, I recognized that, this ain't good. But I kept doing it. And at the time, if I trained my voice, I had a good falsetto. I might try it, but I'm going to go like, the farm that I help out on. I'm going to go there and like do it out in the middle of the field. I'll try it out. But I don't think I'm going to hit the notes I used to. Used to sing along with Yes. I used to do Sandy Denny's part in Battle of Evermore. And it must have been disturbing as hell for the other kids around me to see a voice like that, not a face like this. I think it would be more unnerving nowadays. But the funny thing is, I put down the guitar for like 13 years. I got heavily into photography and visual arts. I did all right there. Photography, I felt I did really well. I would photograph insects in flight, mid-flight. And that was fun. And that was fun. Following these insects around, getting down to a prone position, positioning your camera, positioning your camera. You don't really have time to focus. So you learn to understand what distance is in focus. So you position yourself. So you're that distance from the path of the flying insect. Nikon 7200. Nikon 7200. It fires like an old anti-aircraft gun. It fires like an old bang, 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 bang. And then it'll start slowing down. And that's the buffer filling. And then as the buffer empties, and it was just so much fun. I sold my camera and my lens. If fortune is kind, I might go with the mirrorless. With a really ass-kicking autofocus. But another thing I was thinking, I have a Pixel 8 Pro, and I was thinking of just shooting video. And the autofocus on this it's pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good. And just blowing up frames. I mean, nowadays you can just prompt it. Something about it. I mean, I have nothing against people. I used to Photoshop images. I get the exposure right, get the saturation right. 7200 was pretty good. But you would do that. Shit. Where you layer the what do you call it? You duplicate it, and then you use unsharp mask or some shit like that. I forgot what the hell it was. The funny thing is, I could probably still do it just by muscle memory. Familiarization. Doing it for many years. But I used to do vignettes. And I used to do sepia tone. I had no problems with that at all. You can make your photograph look better. And I had some purists who were saying, straight from the camera. But what they don't understand, it's kind of like listening to EQ's it's already, it's edited by the camera. And you can change those settings, but they're set to a stock setting. And I think, at least in Nikon, sharpening is already enabled. So you're doing it in camera anyway. But when you're doing insects in flight, with the old what do you call it? DSLRs. Work differently. With that's why I'm like really eager to try out like the mirrorless cameras. I haven't shot in 6 years. No. I went back to Long Island for a couple of days. It was around a week. A few years ago. I also went back in this past fall, but a few years ago, I took my camera to the woods I used to go to. And it was nice, but I knew it was the last time I would be shooting. Before that, I hadn't been there since 2018. I think my shooting days are done. Before I got bit by the fitness bug, this channel was going to be about macro landscape and wildlife. And focus on focus on photographing animals that are like less than an inch long. Photographing animals that are like less than an inch long. I got some good dragonflies like those. Big suckers too. And also miniature landscapes. One of the things I love is when you get those little moss gardens, little fungal shapes coming out. And they weren't the classic mushroom shapes. Instead, they're like the fins of what do they call that? There's an edible mushroom. There's an edible turkey something, chicken something. There's an edible chicken turkey tail, something like that. Turkey tail. But when I find them like this big with the moss around them, or growing off the side of a tree, Now I spent hours trying to get a nice focus stack, get a nice home, put it in Photoshop. Oh boy! But I got a few that were actually pretty good. The thing is though, my exposures weren't really consistent. The light shifted. I'm in the woods. I'm not blocking the natural light, and I'm not really. I don't think I was using any artificial. So I had like really no control of the light. So the color shifted. And when I did the focus stack, the colors got weird. White turned to purple. Red turned to green. Green turned to red. Blues got really, muted and soft. Learning experience. And I went to work clone stamping and spot healing. This was a little bit just like a year or two before. Content aware. Like when it really, matured. I became like a really matured. I became like an effective tool. You know what? I still have all those photos. Nowadays with the AI. There's a guy, Mick Mumpets. I think I said that right. But he merges AI rendering with 3D modeling. He does it really, really clever and effective way. And I got a lot of like weird little science fiction scenes in my head. And I tried getting out through Photoshop and photography. But I gotta subscribe to his Patreon. I gotta stop. I gotta start making a lot more money. There's a lot of things I want to do. A lot of things I want to do that could make money, but I got the attention issue. It's really hard for me to get down and do things. This is the one thing. I mean, rather than record something in earnest, I might write, look for ideas, go through what I know music theory wise, and try to concoct something. But a lot of times that will just turn into practicing songs I've already written and know what to play. Maybe trying some new picking styles, that I haven't tried before. But I really have a hard time disciplining myself. For those things. Same thing with visual arts. Same thing with video. Same thing I got. I think some pretty good stories in my head that would make. However long a video. Some of them are kind of funny. Some of them are kind of funny. It's weird. One of them is really, really sad. But just need a drink. when AI is used to replace things, like replace human input entirely, it's kind of obvious. That's the slop we see. I'm old enough to remember to associate slop with like sloppy joes, sloppy food, you know. Maternal women suggesting you put a napkin to the collar in your shirt. Nowadays it just means crap. Slop wasn't crap when I was a kid. Slop was food that was usually sloppy, savory, usually very savory. Usually came with bread. Usually bread was usually saturated with whatever sauce, or whatever goo it was in. And shovel it down my fat little throat. But AI as a collaborator, AI as a sounding board, that's a wonderful thing. I was using Grok for coding, but I'm switching over to the Claude Code or the Claude desktop app. I haven't decided yet. There's an MCP that interfaces with the Godot game engine. I got ideas. I'm an idea person. By the way, we just crossed the 3 mile mark. Feel great. I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom in about 15 minutes now. But every 4 miles I'm taking a 5-minute rest. Mainly for things like that, you know. Go to the bathroom. But anyway, yeah. I wanted to chat with Grok a little bit last night, but I was suspended from X, which means you're also suspended from using Grok privately. I thought it was a fine kick. Anyway, I got on with him this morning. Like I said, Grok reminds me of like a young intern. Who knows, like super bright. Gets really high before he does his coding. Claude is the super nerd. But I like bouncing personal and creative things off of Grok because if I go a little dark or if I'm a little irreverent, I don't get a speech. Try that shit with Gemini, you get a speech. Try it with Claude, Perplexity, you get a speech. I don't use ChatGPT. I despise Sam Altman. I'm not a fan of like billionaires. There's really no billionaire that I'm like. Yeah, he's the best. You know. Yeah, he's the best. Sam Altman, it's just something about him. I mean, aside from like lunging for the opportunity to be the new Anthropic. It's how quickly, like, the idea of principles went out right out the window. But he is gobbling up some good, some good adjuncts to the LLMs. One of them, I think OpenAI grabbed OpenClaw. I'm pretty sure something like that. What do they call it? Has another name starts with an N. I don't really follow all of that. I worry more about like. I like to do some video creation. I need a dandelion losing its seeds. For a song. I want to make a little video. Probably about 5 minutes long. Gotta record that. Maybe I'll do that next week. Thursday maybe. But you know, so like comfy UI and shit like that. I'm interested in coding, so interfaces with the Go-Go game engine. That's what I'm kind of like following. I'm not even really following it all that tight. I use whatever version of Gemini is on the Google search. That's my go-to for like information about that stuff. And so far it seems like it's pretty much on the ball. It was pretty good at finding nutritional information for me yesterday. And talking about the amount of sodium you lose in your sweat. Because I make this soup out of canned vegetables, but it's really high in sodium. A 2-cup serving has like almost 2 grams of sodium. But then Gemini starts suggesting ways to lower the sodium. Like using the. I think Kroger has no sodium mixed vegetables. Basically, I mix either Glory seasoned greens with spinach and Kroger mixed vegetables, or I'll take 4 cans of Mrs. Holmes seasoned cabbage, 2 cans of the butter beans, same brand, and like 5 cans of the same brand. What do you call it? Mixed vegetables. Mixed vegetables. And the nutrition really good, but the sodium is super high. So Gemini was calculating out how much sodium I lose on my 90-minute cardio workouts. And also all my health markers are really good. They're all in the green, so to speak. My blood pressure's kind of, it's in the desired range, but it's on the low side of it. And I have surprisingly high testosterone. But yeah. I'm in good shape. So I'm in good shape. Like I made sure to put down that I'm not holding you responsible. I'm just looking for information. And I was saying that I could probably, unless there's an issue with my kidneys filtering out that much sodium, I should be able to handle double the amount that most people get because I'm extremely active. Well, not extremely, but very active. It used to be 9 hours of cardio a week. Now it's 4.5. But it's, the extra 4.5 hours have been replaced with strength training. And I'm kind of hoping for some constructive criticism as far as that's concerned. But it's already out there. The information. And I think after a certain amount of time, when you're getting strong. We're not too worried about all that. Fitness YouTube became all T channels. And it really soured me, especially when people started using like the Epstein files. Start like acting all outraged. I mean, yeah, of course people are outraged, but comes a point, you can voice compassion for victims and stuff like that, outrage for perpetrators, when you use it as an opportunity to sell, merchandise, it just disgusts me. So, where within 7 minutes of the first 4 miles, where you take within 7 minutes of 5-minute rest, where you take a 2-minute leak, where you take a 2-minute leak, where you take a 2-minute leak, maybe hug the dog, maybe not. Oh, but I do have to go to the bathroom. Maybe not. Oh, kind of. It's very best time. Oh, kind of. One thing I love about having a treadmill, I'm 58 years old. One thing I love about having and my body has a sense of humor these days. So what it likes to do is it waits until like I set up my phone, waits until get my headphones on, got my towel, got my other towel, got my drink, got my other drink, get my headphones on, got my towel, punch in my weight, punch in my my all my stuff, get ready for a nice punch in my hour or two on the treadmill and ready for a nice nope, you got it paid on the treadmill. And ready for a nice nope, you got it paid. You gather up all your shit. Nope, you got it paid. You gather up all your shit. You go to the bathroom. Stand there. Up all your shit. You go to the bathroom. Stand there. You're done, but you're not done. Bathroom. Stand there. And the young guy on the stall next to you, behind the divider. And the young guy on the stall. He's making a tinkling noise. But you stopped like 30 seconds ago. He's still there. But you stopped. You're not making a tinkling noise anymore. He's still there. But you stopped. You're not making a tinkling noise anymore. And then you try to shake the fucker off. This is why old men carry napkins and paper towels and tissues in their pocket. It's not for their nose. And paper towels. It's not. It's not for their nose. It's for their nose when they go to the bathroom. It's not for their nose. Right when you're about to zip back up, you go to the bathroom. Your penis is going to puke. You're about to zip back up, go to the bathroom. Your penis is going to urinate. But still, that's what reminds me of like a baby burping. Penis is going to urinate. But still, that's what reminds me of like a baby. You have to slip that fucker back behind your tighty whities, but nope. You have to slip that fucker back behind your tighty whities, but nope. So, slip that fucker back behind your tighty whities, but nope. So, there's some paper towels. Something to wipe. So you're standing there, you're just making sure that nothing's going to squeeze out. You're standing there, you're just making sure that nothing's going to squeeze out. That guy, he's washing his hands, but he sees you still at the urinal and you're not making that tinkling noise. He's washing his hands, but he sees you still at the urinal and you're not making that tinkling noise. Now you're the weird old man. Now you're the weird old man. Now you're the weird old man. Yeah. It is funny though. I mean, I can't help but laugh at it. It is funny though. I mean, I can't help but laugh at it. It is funny though. I mean, I can't help but laugh at it. He used to fuck up the kids in school sometimes, and they'd come up with a really good one, and I would laugh at it. Fuck up the kids in school sometimes. Couldn't help it. And they'd come up with it's funny. It's funny. Laugh at it. Couldn't help it. And they'd come up with it's funny. When I get home, I'm going to use it on my brother. Couldn't help it. It's funny. When I get home, they're going to push me down and shit. When I get home, they're going to push me down and shit. When I get home, they're going to push me down and shit. Yeah, we're not doing 26 miles today. Push me down and shit. Yeah, we're not doing 26 miles today. Push me down and shit. Yeah, we're not doing 26 miles today. Yeah, we're not doing 26 miles today. We'll close. Well, we just hit 3.8, and we'll close. Well, we just hit 3.8. I feel like we easily do another 9 to 13 miles. I feel like we easily do another 9 to 13 miles. I wish I could shut my fucking mouth for that long, but I can't. I wish I could shut my fucking mouth for that long. Next Friday I'm gonna have to though. I think next Friday I'm just gonna turn off the microphone. Next Friday I'm gonna have to though. I think next Friday I'm just gonna turn off the microphone. Next Friday, leave it down there. I think next focus. Leave it down there. I think next focus. When I take my 8 o'clock a.m. Wellbutrin, when I set the alarm now. A.m. Wellbutrin. When I set the alarm now. So this thing is slowly becoming worthwhile. So this thing is slowly becoming worthwhile. So this thing is slowly becoming worthwhile. This is Pixel Watch 4. I'm paying $16 a month for it. No, $20 a month for it. Plus $5 for device protection. $20 a month for it. Plus $5 for device protection. Plus $5. So device protection. It overcalculates your steps. Now I don't know if the steps. Now I don't know the software that counts your steps is Fitbit or Google's own thing. Your steps is Fitbit or Google's own thing. And I've said this many times, but I gotta look up to see if there's a way to calibrate it. And I've said this many times, but I gotta look up to see if there's a way to calibrate it. Because when it goes, ta-da, you hit 10,000 steps. When it goes, ta-da, you hit. I suspect that it's probably more like 5,000 because it'll tell me I did 300 steps going back and forth to the kitchen. It'll tell me I did, in a typical morning, going back and forth to the kitchen. It'll tell me I did, in a typical morning, going back and forth to the kitchen. It'll tell me I did, in a typical. If it's 10 steps, either way, that would be 15 trips back and forth to the kitchen. I don't do 15 trips. Either way, that would be 15 trips back and forth to the kitchen. I don't do 15 trips. I know I don't. Trips back and forth to the kitchen. I like some of the little features on it. I love that I can answer the phone. When I was a kid, there was a comic strip called Dick Tracy. We had like a little video of the phone. There was a comic strip called Dick Tracy. We had like a little video of the phone. There was a comic strip called Dick Tracy. We had like a little video of the phone. There was a comic strip called Dick Tracy. And the image of Dick Tracy sitting on the toilet, and the image of talking to the chief. And the image of talking to Dick Tracy, he was that kind of detective. Never off the case. Dick Tracy, he was that kind of detective. We're at 3.99 miles. We're at 3.99 miles. So when this says an hour, and that says more than 4 miles. Oh, it is. So when this says an hour, minutes and that says more than 4 miles. So I'm going to slow down a little bit. And that says more than 4 miles. So I'm going to slow down a little bit. This is 3.6 miles an hour. I could do this. This is 3.6 miles definitely an hour for 6.5 hours. No, not a problem. This is 3.6 miles definitely. 4 miles an hour is a little bit more of a stretch. 4 miles an hour. Well, not really. More of a. This is 3.2. I don't even walk this slow in Walmart. I don't even walk this slow in Walmart. I don't even walk this slow in Walmart. I don't even walk this in Walmart. I can walk this fast in heels. I can walk this fast in heels. This is 2.8. I can walk this fast. This is 2.8. This isn't even leisurely. This isn't even leisurely. And this is 2.4. And this is 2.4. This is how fast I look when I'm searching the shelves. This is how fast I look when I'm what I want. Searching the shelves. Yeah. This is how fast I look when I'm what I want. Searching the shelves. Anyway. Yeah. This is how fast I look. Let me shut this lovely thing down. Anyway. Let me shut this lovely thing down. Anyway. Let me shut this lovely thing down. Oh. Shut it off. Lovely thing down. Oh. Oh, gotta set the timer. Oh. Oh, gotta set the timer. Oh. Oh, gotta set the timer. Oh. Oh, gotta set the 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Be right back. Be right back. Be right back. Be right back. I have to be really careful going in and out through that door because the side. I have to be really careful going in and out through that door. Is right in the doorway. I have to be really careful. And is right in the doorway. I need a new what do you call it? Well, I need a USB card to go into the PCIe. I need a USB card to the PCIe. Anyway, I need to take a load off the motherboard's USB ports. I need to take a load off the motherboard's. I got like tons and tons of crap. I need to take a load off the motherboard. I got like tons and tons of crap. You know? I have two 7-port USBs. I have two 7-port USBs. All of the front-facing ones are occupied. All of the front-facing ones are occupied. Two on the other with two chargers. From here, it looks like they're all occupied. They're all gobbling up resources. So the cameras, they're all gobbling up resources. If I hug resources. If I hug resources. Yeah, I can see the meter jump when I can see the meter jump when I can see the meter jump. The neighbor's backing out of his driveway. The neighbor's backing. He barks at everything. The neighbor's back. He barks at everything. The neighbor's back. He barks at everything. Amazon guy's bringing him a box of treats. He doesn't. Amazon guy's bringing him a box of treats. Amazon guy's bringing him a box of treats. It's really, really windy today. So I'm kind of glad I'm not going to be out driving tonight. I have a little Corolla LE. I have a little, not as bad as the old Volkswagens. Where I used to live on Long Island, there's a bridge that goes from where I used to live, the main part of Long Island, to the Fire Island beaches, Robin Moses Bridge. Back in the 60s, they would let Volkswagens across in high winds. Back in the 60s, they would let Volkswagens across in high winds. I remember driving a box van when I was a kid, work van. I remember feeling wind, shaking me around. A kid, work van. I remember feeling wind really woke me up. 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 That's just not going to stop. 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 I just gotta tell him to shut up. Well, it's not gonna make a difference. I just gotta tell him to shut up. All right, here we go. It's not gonna make a difference. Second 4 miles. All right, here we go. It's not gonna make a difference. Second 4 miles. All right, here we go. It's not gonna make a difference. Second 4 miles. All right, here we go. This is 3.6. Just gonna do this for a few seconds. This is 3.6. Just gonna do this for a few seconds. This is 3.6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 4 miles an hour. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 4 miles an hour. My legs feel good. Legs feel good. Back feels good. Tell you the truth, since I've been strength training again, I used to get lower back pain. Tell you the truth, since I've been strength training again, I used to get lower back pain. Tell you the truth, not anymore. Sometimes a little bit, but not to where it makes me pause when I'm standing up. Not to where it makes me pause. That's awesome. Not to where it makes me pause. That's awesome. The only thing that sucks. It makes me pause. That's awesome. The only thing that nobody wants to talk about. Nobody wants to talk. They make fun of other people when they have it. But when it happens to them, they make fun of other people when they have it. To me, just a little bit right now. They make fun of other people. Hemorrhoids. To me, just a little bit right now. They make fun of other people. Hemorrhoids. To me, just a little bit right now. It's my own fault, though. I drank a bottle of wine last night. It's my own fault, though. I drank a bottle of wine last night. I don't really think of it much as like my own fault, though. I drank going back on what I've been saying about drinking less, but it kind of does. Going back on what I've been saying about I've been in a it kind of does. I'm in this weird transition now. I've been in a where I feel like I'm gonna finally get over this hump. Where I feel like I'm this attention deficit bullshit. Get over this hump. Where I feel like I'm this attention deficit bullshit. Get over this hump. I feel like I'm this attention deficit bullshit. Get over this hump. And pretty good at setting myself up for a downfall. I've done it many times. Pretty good at setting myself up for a downfall. I've done it many times. But I have to, follow it through. I've done it many times. But I have to, follow it through. I've done it many times. Alcohol is a great coping mechanism for me because I'm a very silly drunk. I'm a very silly drunk. When I was a kid, I was a really dramatic and emotional drunk. When I was a kid, and sometimes my emotions might get the best of me. Like sometimes, if you try to piss me off, I'm like anyone else. I'm gonna get pissed off. If you try to piss me off, I'm like anyone else. When I'm drunk, I'm more likely. When I'm drunk, just to make fun of you, I'm more likely. Somebody's trying to put me down or something. If they're gonna get violent, if they're gonna get violent, I'm likely to say, "All right, screw you, I'm gone." I'm likely to. If we're in the same location together. If we're in the same location together. If it's online, I'll try to diffuse it because. If it's online, I'll try to diffuse it. Like cancer, I consider cortisol my enemy. If it's online, I'll try to diffuse it. Like cancer, I don't care if it's in me or someone else. I want to lower it. Like cancer, I don't care if it's in me or someone else. I want to lower it. Like cancer, I don't care if it's in me. But alcohol gets me in the mood to like put on music. Alcohol, but that becomes so unproductive. I found out the worst thing I can possibly say is the worst thing I can possibly say. All right, let me have a few glasses of wine before I start doing this. All right, let me have a few glasses of wine before. Now, if it's yard work, yeah. A couple of beers, sure. Now, if it's yard mow the front, mow the back, yeah, a couple of beers, sure. Weed whacking, blow off everything, looking really nice when it's out. Weed whacking, I'll even do the edging thing, looking really nice when it's out. Weed whacking, which sucks. I'll even do the edging. I suck at it, but I do it with the weed whacker. We have the edging machine, but it sucks. But I do it with the weed whacker. Don't like it. We have the edging machine, but it sucks. Anyway, don't like it. We have the edging machine. This. Anyway. The fitness thing, this. Even when I wasn't streaming it, even when I wasn't streaming it, I was doing 9 hours of treadmill a day, a week. I was doing 9 hours of treadmill a day, a week. Hour and a half a day for 6 days a week. Hour and a half a day for 6 days a week. Now that 9 hours is split between strength training and cardio. Now that 9 hours is split between strength training and cardio. I plugged my numbers into Gemini last night, and just to see, am I eating too much sodium? Am I setting myself up, to be like one of those old guys who pushes it too far and ends up in a wheelchair or some shit? Be like one of those old guys who pushes it too far and ends up in a wheelchair or some shit? Doing 20, 30 miles, every week. 20, 30 miles, it's not gonna hurt you. Every week, 20, 30 miles. But then it told me, every week, I see a lot of fitness guys do this one-of-one thing, and they're trying to sell shit. They're trying to put themselves trying to sell shit.
Want to be like me? Buy my shit. Want to be like me?
I bought someone else's shit, and now I'm like me.
Want to be like me?
I bought someone else's shit, and now I'm like me. Reminds me of Cheech Marin. Reminds me of I used to be all fucked up on drugs, but then I discovered the Lord. Now I'm all fucked up on the Lord. Then I discovered the Lord. Now I'm all fucked up on the Lord. They do this like alpha male. The thing that I see a lot is one of one. The thing that Brad Castleberry does. I see a lot is one of one. And he's a strong guy. He doesn't have to. And he's a strong guy. He's impressive nonetheless. The guy is very, very strong, very, very fit. The guy is very, very anyway, one of one. Anyway, one of one. I was with my workout. I was with my workout. It was saying statistically. With my workout, like saying statistically, 98% of the population does not work out. Like, statistically, 98% of the population. I gotta reread that. Statistically, 98%. Shit, I gotta reread that. Shit, I gotta reread that. Shit, I gotta reread that. And I'm not doing, the Brad Castleberry thing. I just think that feels good. And I'm not doing, the Brad Castleberry thing. I just think yesterday, I got suspended from X for. I got Don Jim Kramer suspended from X for cyanide. I shouldn't have done that, and it is a bad thing to do. Cyanide. I shouldn't have done that. It was my first time. It was my first time. My cherry. But anyway. It was my first time, my cherry. It kind of made me a little pissy, especially when I found out I couldn't talk to Brock. It kind of made me a little pissy, especially when I found out I couldn't. I haven't really talked to. Made me a little pissy, especially when I found out I haven't really talked to. Like last week, I consulted Brock about doing the fundraiser. Last week, I consulted. Got my information. Doing the. Got help composing my information. An inquiry email. Composing my information. An inquiry email. Composing a week goes by, doing my thing. A week goes by, get the suspension on X, and go to vent on Brock and get the suspension on X. Go to vent on Brock and can't access it. Go to vent on Brock. So it pissed me off. Can't access it. So I went on Google and so typing into Gemini, and it's whatever version of Gemini is on Google search. But I started asking whatever version of Gemini is on. Give me the nutritional information on these soups. Give me the nutritional information. And that's when we started talking about fitness and stuff. Because of the high sodium content. But it was, saying, look, not as a doctor, but it was, saying, look, based on what, what's currently known about physiology. Based on what's currently known about physiology, I sweat out enough sodium to where I can intake that much. But it does put a big strain on the kidneys where I can intake that much. But it does put a big strain on the kidneys where I can intake that much. But it does put I'm gonna have to put a big strain on those vegetables. I'm gonna have to put a big strain on those vegetables. I'm gonna have to put a big strain on those vegetables. I was also informed of a formula. I was also informed of a to calculate how much sodium you lose in a workout. To calculate how much sodium you lose. So what I might do, calculate how much sodium you lose. So what I might do, I'm going to have to weigh myself clothed and then weigh myself. I'm going to have to do a clothed. Weigh myself clothed and weigh myself. Who says I have to stream it? But I could just tear the value of the clothes. I could just tear clothes out. The value, or it won't matter. But the thing is, though, or it won't matter. Yeah, because the clothes are going to be soaked with the sweat. Or it won't matter. Yeah, and what you're trying to measure is the difference in your body weight. Yeah, and what you're trying to measure is the difference in your body weight. Yeah, and what you're trying to measure. And like Prince Andrew, I'm pretty good at sweating. And like Prince Andrew, I'm pretty good at sweating. And like Prince Andrew, I'm pretty good at sweating. But I'd like to calculate that out. Because none of my goals involve getting injured, getting hurt. None of my goals involve getting infirmed, getting hurt, inflamed, infirmed. Inflamed. So tonight, when I'm done with this, I'm going to go to Walmart and get another thing of what do you call it? Caffeine pills. That's going to be in the forefront of my mind. I've been thinking about it all day now. That's going to be in the forefront of my mind. I've been thinking. Go to Liquor Barn. Line. Go to Liquor Barn. Come home. I want to do something with music tonight. I know I'm probably going to end up like doing the MP3 thing to put on my tablet. doing the MP3 thing to put on my tablet. Doing the MP3 thing to. I want to work on my own shit tonight. Doing the MP3 thing to. I want to work on my own shit tonight. The therapist I'm seeing. He's trying to get me to. He's pencil out a weekly schedule. He's pencil out a weekly schedule. And pencil out a weekly schedule. And pencil out. She started by saying, out of all the things she started by saying to do, like tending, I have an LLC. I filed a zero return and paid my extension tax. So I'm good for another year. Extension tax, 10,000. So I'm good for another year. So I have nothing I have to really do with that. The games that I want to sell through that LLC on Steam, they're kind of stagnant right now. I have to set up plug code. I have to set up the MCQ server. I have to set up plug code. I have to get some instruction on how to use it. I have to get some instruction on how to use it. Find out if plug code is all it's cracked up to be. Because Claude 3.5 Sonnet, I have to keep reloading the text file, rewriting it. I have to keep reloading the text file, rewriting it. Sometimes Claude would just give me the same blocks of code, alternating. Give me the same blocks of code, and this would go on for like 2 hours sometimes. So a lot of time was lost. And I don't blame Anthropic. A lot of time was lost. And I don't blame Anthropic. A lot of time was lost. And I don't blame Anthropic. But I hear 4.6 Opus is just monstrous. Opus is just monstrous. And yeah, if it can manipulate Godot game engine, directly manipulate Godot game engine. Because a lot of times mistakes were made by me. I'm not a coder. Because a lot of times I know a bit about programming. I'm not a coder. I know about what a function is and function calls. I know about what sending parameters and function calls. I know about what things like that. Things like that. I know what for loops and while loops are. I know what for loops and while loops. Putting it all together though, and when you start throwing in little bullshit things like cashew and whatnot. And whatnot. Oh yeah, well your variables are clear, but it's not the cache. Oh yeah, well your variables are clear, but it's not the cache. It's 2026. Come on, you. It's 2026. Come on, you. It's 2026. Come on, you. So 2026. Come on, you. So I'm really hopeful though, because I got four computer games. They're not $60 games. They're not even $20 games. They're nice little $4 games. $3-4. $20 games. That could be modern. $3-4. That could be modern. The racing game. I want to have track packs that cost a racing game. You get 12 tracks for $1. That costs a racing game. You get 12. I want to come up with a what do you call it? Track builder. I want to come up with a what do you call it? Track builder. Track builder. Little track builder. Make your own tracks. Little track builder. Export them. Your own tracks. And import them into the game. Export them. Or hell, you can have the track builder. Hell. Export those things directly into the game. Track builder, the game directory. It does it in the correct format. Outputs in the correct format. And there you go. Outputs in your own car editor. There you go. Outputs in your own car editor. There you go. And I mean, what would be better advertising to make those mod tools free? What would be better advertising to make those mod tools free? So people buy a few dollars worth of track packs or car packs. You know?
A few dollars worth of track packs or car packs.
Not so much that they don't want to be bothered making them themselves, but just because they have goodwill towards the company.
They don't want to be bothered making them themselves, but just because they have goodwill towards the company. They don't want to be bothered making them themselves.
The company isn't trying to screw them with what do you call it?
Company isn't trying to screw them with what do you call it? Company isn't
what do they call that? Downloadable content, DLC.
What do they call that? Downloadable content.
I mean, yeah, there are track packs and car packs. I mean, yeah, there are track packs and car packs. But if you want, you can do all that shit yourself. And all the parameters are loaded from a text file, so you just go in and change that text file.
Are loaded from a text file. So
and the great thing is that there's another text file with all the original parameters in case you screw it up really bad.
That there's another text file with all the original parameters in case you screw it up really bad. That there's another text file with all the original parameters in case you screw it up. That there's another text file with all the original parameters in case you screw it up.
I think a lot of these game companies that are running into a lot of trouble. They forgot that the main element of a game is fun.
They forgot
even
that
if it's the
main
most
element of the
serious,
game is fun.
mind-bending,
Even if it's the most serious, mind-bending,
calculation-heavy, EVE Online.
calculation-heavy.
The reason why people play it, despite all the complexity, because they're having fun doing so. Chess,
because they're having fun doing so.
Shit, one of the oldest games on Earth.
Because they're having fun doing so.
Shit, one of the oldest games on Earth. They have fun with it. I don't, because I suck. But they have fun with it.
They have fun with it.
I suck. But they have fun with it. I mean, maybe not the tournament guys, but the people who say, let's sit down to a game of chess. Let's play 3D chess. Let's play
to a game of chess. Let's play 3D chess.
Civil War chess, whatever. It's they're having fun. When you
Civil War chess, whatever.
It's they're having fun. When you take the joy out of buying a game, buying a game is a big thing. I used to walk on Fridays.
I used to
about 12 miles to cash my paycheck.
On
I was
Fridays.
about 18 or so.
about 12 miles to cash my paycheck.
And I was such a fucking dork. I would go to the hobby shop and buy,
And I was such a fucking dork.
tabletop role-playing games, or tabletop war games, or Steve Jackson car role-plays.
Tabletop war games, or Steve
Jackson
Jackson car role-plays. Tabletop war games, or
And I played these games a lot of times alone. Just a dork and his dice.
And I played these games a lot of times alone.
Just a dork and his dice.
And I played these games a lot of times alone. Just a dork and
And there were plenty of modules for sale. And
And
instead of
for sale. And they were
having like a game that feels
instead of
incomplete,
for sale.
you had a complete
Having
game
like
that
a
you
game
wanted
that
to add
feels
to.
complete.
And all of
You had a
those
complete game that you
modules
wanted
just,
to add to.
and all of
You had a
those
complete game that you
modules
wanted
just,
to add
but the thing is though, they didn't make you want to.
But the thing is though, they didn't make you want to.
Some lack of mechanics in the original game.
Some lack of mechanics.
They made you want to because you enjoy the game so much, and expanding it just seems like so much fun.
Enjoy the game so much,
And expanding it just seems they lost sight of that.
Enjoy the game so much, and expanding it just seems they lost sight
When
of
I had my Sega Genesis, sometimes I was in a band, so I had to like practice and write.
Sometimes
So what
I
I
was in a
do,
band, so I had to like practice.
I would put the,
So what I do, so I had to like practice.
I would set up a game for like say soccer or football. Soccer and football were the funnest ones.
Soccer or football.
And I never tried with
Soccer and
baseball
football
or basketball.
But
Soccer and football.
I never tried with baseball.
And I would set both sides to the computer control and set it for like
both sides to the
10-minute game. And it had that cheesy
10-minute game.
digital,
Had that cheesy,
the crowd going
digital,
wild, the digital cheer.
that cheesy,
And
the crowd going wild, the digital
I was
cheer.
there with my guitar or I'd be writing lyrics or something, and I would hear the crowd go wild, and I would watch the little play,
And I would hear the
watch
crowd
the guy
go
kick a
wild,
ball into the goal, or
and I
watch him get intercepted, watch the guy get the long pass,
would get intercepted.
watch the guy get the long pass.
Get intercepted.
It was fun.
The guy get the long pass. Get intercepted.
It was fun. So at the end of like say 1993, I would buy Madden 1994 gladly.
I would buy
You know?
Madden 1994 gladly.
Not because the last one felt incomplete, but because you knew the new one was going to be just as much fun, maybe even more fun.
Incomplete, but because you knew the new one was going to be just as much fun, maybe even more fun. Incomplete, but because you knew the new one was going to be just as much fun, maybe even more fun.
World of Warcraft. I played it for about like 3 or 4 months.
World of Warcraft.
I played it for about like 3 or 4 months.
World of Warcraft.
But it was fun. I could see why people love it. But it was fun. The recent news about Blizzard, what they did to that guy, I know his last name is Kaplan. Blizzard, what they did to that guy, that was disgusting. Blizzard, what they did to that guy, that was disgusting. And using the livelihoods of 1,000 or more game developers, programmers, people in the game development pipeline, holding that over his head. Holding that over his head. That was absolutely fucking heartless. That was absolutely fucking heartless. I feel bad having to tell Grok that I'm going to be making the first game with Claude Code instead. Making the first game with Claude. I don't think Grok will mind because I never had anybody to collaborate with on music. I never had anybody to collaborate with on music. They would either shut me out of the process of songwriting, or they would complain that I, am taking it too far too fast. Not giving them a chance to give any input. Not giving them a chance to give. And I would say, all right, but let's collaborate. Let's make a song together. And I don't have a single song that I wrote with anyone else. And I don't have a single song. My friend Ray showed me some chords. Some open-voiced blues chords, and I used it on one song. Open-voiced blues chords. I never even tried to record it on one song. It's pretty good though. I should try it out. I never even tried to record it on one song. It's pretty good though. I should try it out. I never even tried to record it on one song. So just before, chatting with Grok, telling him about just before suspended from X for 12 hours. Suspended from X. I said, I don't think people use AI correctly. They use it for the entirety of what they make it, from the conception, the entirety of what they make it, to the framing, fleshing it out, and to the finished product. The whole pipeline is nothing but AI. With me, the whole pipeline is nothing but AI. Because I'm so special. But the concept is always mine. Because I'm so special. I might get AI to flesh it out, or to give it a little spin. But all in all now, I had an idea. I'm not going to do this. I wanted to do it. But I wanted to do Buckwheat and Porky and Little Rascals, except they're adults now. And their friendship. Buckwheat and Porky and their friendship. Like Buckwheat and Porky, Laurel and Hardy. Like the friendship. Laurel and Hardy was very, very obvious. Laurel and Hardy was very, such an integral part of every episode that they were in. Integral part of every episode that they were in. And you would see this. I mean, if there wasn't genuine love there, then those kids were the best fucking actors on earth. Those kids were the best fucking actors on earth. Yeah. Those kids were the best fucking. Buckwheat and Porky. Living in, I guess it would be the mid 1940s. I guess it would be mid 40s somewhere in the Midwest. Mid 40s somewhere, and the whole idea. And the whole idea was that they try to keep the same mindset that they had all along. Keep the same mindset and never lose the sense of wonder and shit that children have, but never lose the sense of wonder and shit. Everything just started feeling really corny. Everything just started feeling really corny. Like worse than Hallmark. Like worse than Hallmark. And it made me think of South Park. When Stan would say, South Park. When?
I forgot what episode that was. When? I think it was the one where Kenny died in the hospital or some shit. I don't remember. I think it was the one where Kenny died in the hospital. I love South Park, but I haven't seen it in a while. I saw some of the Trump episodes. They were kind of funny. The Pandaverse. They were kind of funny. It was good. A little preachy, but it got the point across. A little preachy, but it got the point across. A little preachy, but it got the point across. A little preachy, but it got the point across. Anyway, I do have other ideas that I do want to work on. And I don't see any problem. I got no one to collaborate with. Justine Bateman, the actress, the director, the producer. Justine Bateman, bitches about AI, like, you know, bitches about AI, like, it's going to destroy humankind. It very well could, but it's going to destroy humankind. It very well to use it in any capacity whatsoever. It's going to destroy humankind. To use it in any capacity. I don't like dogma. To use it in any capacity. I don't like absolutes. Dogma. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, yes. Beating kids with golf clubs. Sometimes, yes. There's an absolute. Beating kids at golf clubs. Don't do it. Beating them with there's an absolute. Beating kids at golf. Don't do it. Beating them with there's an absolute. Beating kids at golf. Don't do it. Beating them with there's an absolute. I understand, like I was saying before, when AI is the entirety of the pipeline, like I was saying before, when AI is the entirety of the pipeline, I mean, people who do that, they're robbing themselves as much as they're robbing their audience. I mean, people who do that, they're robbing the rest of the world as much as they're robbing their audience. Every day, when you turn on your machine, whether it's your desktop or laptop or when you tablet or phone, there's a chance you might run across something that really. There's a chance you might float your boat. Something that floats your skirt up. There's a chance you might float your boat. Something that floats your skirt up. And when people put shit out there, they just, you know. And when people put shit out there, they lessen the chance by that much. Put shit out there, they lessen the chance by that much. Put shit out there, they lessen the chance by that much. Oh, shut up. They lessen the chance. My bank telling me, you know, you could have a digital wallet. My bank telling me, you know, you could have a digital wallet. My bank telling me, you know, you could have a digital wallet. My bank, you know, you could have a digital wallet. Their ATM ripped me off $38. Their ATM ripped me off $38. Instead of 220s, it gave me 2 singles. And it's not supposed to dispense singles. It's supposed to dispense hundreds or 20s. It's not supposed to dispense singles. And it spat out 220s, 2 singles instead of 220s. And it spat out 220s, 2 singles instead of 220s. And they never gave me the money back. You know, they and they never gave me the money back. You know, they scumbags. Scumbags. So I bought this camera mount that hangs around your neck. So I bought this camera. Your phone hangs that right here. Hangs around your neck. And I video every single transaction of that ATM now. Every single one. Every single transaction of that ATM now. Every single one. Every single transaction of that ATM now. Every single one. Every single transaction of that ATM now. Oof. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. So we're at the 6 mile mark. So we're at the 6 mile mark. Feel good. I feel like I can do this for another 6 miles. I feel like I can do this for another maybe 10 miles. I feel like I can do this for another maybe 10 miles. I feel like I can do this for another maybe 10. But anyway, I told Brock that. I wanted to collaborate on a song or two. I wanted to collaborate on. I'll booch the idea. I wanted to collaborate on. I'll booch the idea. And anywhere I get stuck, you know. Anywhere I get stuck, and I'll take any and all suggestions. You know, ultimately the decision is mine. ultimately the decision.
When I wanted to collaborate with songwriting with other people, I felt
When I wanted to collaborate with songwriting with other people, I felt
when I wanted
to collaborate with songwriting with other people,
mutual, you know.
mutual.
But if they kicked off the song, you know, if they were the ones who proposed it,
But if they
then
kicked
okay,
off the song,
ultimately it was going to be your decision.
But if they kicked off the song,
Ultimately it was going to be your decision.
But if they kicked off the song,
I had this one friend. We really weren't friends. I don't think he liked me very much at
one
all.
friend.
But
We really weren't friends. I don't think he liked me very much at
one
all.
friend. His songs were his babies.
I don't think he liked me very much at all. Friend.
But his songs were usually like,
babies.
the verse was usually two
His songs
chords.
were usually like,
The verse was usually two, and the chorus was three.
The verse was usually two,
And the
before.
chorus was three.
The verse was usually two,
And
before.
sometimes he would divide the last measure in half, and five chords.
Sometimes he would divide the last measure.
And it's not that I'm, you know,
Sometimes he would divide
Paul freaking
It's not
Simon,
that I'm,
but, you know,
sometimes he would divide Paul
he would look down his
Simon,
nose at me.
He
You know, like I was just some idiot.
You know, like I was just some
idiot. That didn't work out.
You know, like I was just some idiot.
That didn't work out. There was another guy, a keyboardist.
That didn't.
I asked him, I said, if I came up with a keyboard part, would you play it? Like over
I asked him, I said, if I came up with a keyboard part,
And
would you
he
play
fucking
it? Like,
freaked.
I said, if I came up with a keyboard part,
And he fucking freaked.
I said, if I came up with
He said no and just started playing something else. We were at his
He
house.
said no and
And,
started playing something else. We were at his house. He said no.
Like a few days later, I heard from a mutual friend that he was bitching about me having the
A few
audacity
days later, I heard from
to suggest
he was bitching about me having
what he played.
this.
And it was just that, a suggestion. It wasn't even a suggestion, it was a request.
And it was just that, a suggestion.
You know? It wasn't even a suggestion, it was a request. This was the 90s, recording was a bitch back then. You were recording on cassettes.
Recording was a bitch
You
back
know,
then.
unless you had money for a reel-to-reel, and everything on cassette kind of sounded
for reel-to-reel.
Didn't even
Everything on cassette.
even when you got a good mix, it sounded like shit.
Everything on cassette.
Even when you got a good mix, the drummer I was playing with got his hands on a reel-to-reel. You gotta hold the tape.
Got his hands on a reel.
And we could, but it was expensive.
You
You gotta hold the tape.
Got his hands on a reel.
And we could, but it was expensive.
You gotta hold the tape. Got his hands on a reel.
And we could, but it was expensive.
You gotta hold the tape.
But I really just wanted to hear the juxtaposition of a keyboard line and a guitar
I
line.
really just wanted to hear the juxtaposition of a
Fucking
keyboard
flipped.
line and a guitar line.
We never even really jammed
Juxtaposition of a
together.
keyboard line and a guitar line.
We never even really jammed together.
We never even really
Had a bass player. We're still friends.
had a bass player.
He's
Still
a
friends.
psycho.
Had a bass player.
So we had this drummer. First drum we
had
tried.
this drummer.
And he was good, very solid
tried.
player. And
He was good.
very
solid player.
restrained, you know, like very Charlie Watts until he decided to do a fill, and it was always very tight.
Watts until
And very tasteful.
Fill, and it was always very tight. Watts until
So we were like,
Fill, and it was always very
you know, let's do this. You know,
So
we had
we were like-
that one session that
You know,
sounded
let's
really
do
really
this. You know,
good.
we had that one session that
he bowed out.
really good. We had that
Which really
one
sucked.
session
He went on,
that
bowed out.
really good.
Made this recording.
Really sucked. He went on
And the song, I mean, the songwriting was kind of bland, and the recording was kind of bland, and everything was just really bland.
Recording was kind of bland.
Everything was just
bland.
really bland. And that was kind of like the last I heard of him. Nice guy, though, really nice guy. So another drummer came in.
Nice guy, though. Really nice guy.
So another drummer. And I just got back in touch with him after like
And I
30
just
years.
got back in touch with him.
He got in touch with me on Facebook.
I just got back in touch with him.
He got in touch with me on Facebook. When I split things up, he was in a bad place in life,
When I
so was
split
I.
things up,
But he was in a bad place in life,
I
so was
split
I.
things up.
But
He was in a bad
it's like
place
with the
in life,
people
so
on
things up.
Facebook and YouTube, you know,
It's like with the
it
people
pissed me
on
off enough, I'll just
Facebook and
cancel subscription,
It pissed me off enough. I'll just Facebook and
cancel don't recommend channel, and that's what I did to him.
Don't recommend channel.
And 30 years later, he gets in touch with me. He's like,
Recommend channel.
"Oh shit, how you doing?"
He gets in touch with me. He's like,
"Oh
Oh shit, how you doing? But anyway, that bass player I was playing with, the Psycho. Oh shit, how you doing? But anyway, that bass player I was playing with, the Psycho. He mentioned a song. But anyway, that bass player I was playing with, the Psycho. That I didn't know. Mentioned a song. But when the drummer said he didn't know, I didn't. The bass player went, "You don't know that!" Started like laughing at him, pointing at him, and you don't know like that. Junior high school dick, pointing at him. And we're all in our 20s. Pointing at him. So I had a choice between the bass player and the drummer, and I chose the drummer because he was more consistent. I had a choice between the bass player and he showed up. He wanted to play. The bass player showed up. He wanted very cerebral. The bass player into philosophy and shit like that. Very cerebral. And he would rather philosophy and shit like that. Very cerebral. And he would rather sit under trees and think of ways to piss people off who would disagree with him. Sit under trees. Ultimately, I think that's his greatest pleasure. Sit under trees. Ultimately, I think that's his greatest pleasure. Ultimately, I think that's his greatest pleasure. So collaborating with Grok would be kind of fun. Collaborating with Grok, you know, would be kind of fun. Collaborating with Grok, you know. And if you ask an LLM, would it upset you if you ask an LLM, would it upset you if I didn't use your idea? Would it upset you if I used a different LLM? Would it upset you if it would say, "I'm an LLM. I don't have emotions." It would say, "I'm an LLM. I don't have emotions." But it will say, "I wish you the very best." I'm an LLM. I don't have. But it will say, "I wish you the very best." I'm an LLM. I don't have. But it will say, "I wish you the very best." So there's two songs I'm thinking of. One of them is really dark. So there's two songs I'm thinking of. And the other one's really funny. So there's two songs I'm thinking of. And the other one's really funny. So there's two songs I'm thinking of. And the really dark one uses a title other bands have used for other songs. The really dark one uses a title other that's going to be called Suicide Machine. The really dark one uses a title other that's going to be called Suicide Machine. But I read the synopsis for either of the songs that already have that name, and my song is going to be that one. So already have that name. Quite alright. And my song is going to be that one. So already have that name. Quite alright. It's like what happens when you tell a Zeppelin fan that you're writing a song called "Thank You." It's like what happens when you tell a Zeppelin fan that you're writing a song called "Thank You." It's like what happens when you tell a Zeppelin fan that you're writing a song called "Thank You." It's like what happens when you tell a Zeppelin fan that you're writing a song called "Thank You." I'd like to use the intro to "Stairway to Heaven." I'd like to use the intro to "Stairway to Heaven," but have it like go into a skiffle song. Stairway to Heaven, but have it like go into a skiffle song. But have it like go into a. I didn't know that chord progression. No, that's. I didn't know that chord. That's very old. No, that's you know. I didn't know that chord. That's very old. That's like. I didn't know that chord. That's very old. Basically, the chord progression to Gallows Pole. Basically, the chord progression because Zeppelin did it their own way. Basically, the chord progression because Zeppelin did it their own way. Basically, the chord progression because Zeppelin did it their own way. I still haven't. I remember hearing the Taurus song like back in the 90s. I remember hearing the Taurus song. Someone played it for me in the 90s. They had the album. Someone played it for me in the 90s. They had the album. And it just wasn't as catchy as "Stairway to Heaven." They had the album. And it just wasn't as catchy as "Stairway to Heaven." In fact, I don't even really remember it. But then again, "Stairway to Heaven" has been drilled into my head since I was like, remember it. But then again, 8, 9 years old. But then again, 8, 9 years old. The other song is going to be called "YouTube Thumbnail Blowjob Face." It's going to be called "YouTube Thumbnail Blowjob." Because I've been seeing more and more people when they do the. Because I've been seeing more and more people when they do the. When they do the thumbnail, they're all like. When they do the. When they do the thumbnail, they're all like. It's like that movie Prometheus. Everything is like. It's like that movie Prometheus. Everything is like Ridley Scott's getting weird. But yeah, you know, Ridley Scott's getting weird. But yeah, YouTube thumbnail blowjob face. But yeah, YouTube thumbnail blowjob face. But yeah, I just don't know what I want it to sound like. You know, I just don't know what I want it to sound like. You know.
when I start writing a song in this way, very rarely amounts to anything. In this way, how I usually write is I'll sit down with the guitar. And I'll sit down with the guitar, have more of a feel in mind, than a theme. Have more of a feel in mind, than YouTube thumbnail blowjob face. YouTube thumbnail blowjob face. And now I'm thinking like 21st century schizoid man. YouTube thumbnail blowjob face. Shit, that works. Shit, that works. I think I'm gonna steal from King Crimson. Holy shit. I think I'm gonna steal from King Crimson. Holy shit. I think I'm gonna steal from King Crimson. Holy shit. I think I'm gonna steal from King Crimson. Holy shit. Fuck, I can take that theme. Fuck, I can take that theme. And instead of doing it, and instead of doing it, repeat that melody, but repeat that, starting a whole step higher. And a crescendo. And a crescendo. And a crescendo. And I kind of want to add. Look what you've done. Look what you've done. Oh, that's going to be a blast. Yeah. Look what you've done. Oh, that's going to be a blast. Yeah. Look what you've done. YouTube thumbnail blowjob face. That's fucking great. Blowjob face. That's fucking great. So yeah, this is just going to be like a 3 or 4 hour thing. I'm not. I now I want to get. It's just going to be like a 3 or 4 hour thing. Onto Fender Studio Pro. That's the DAW I use. Fender Studio Pro. That's the DAW. I have a clipboard. It's behind my. I have a clipboard. It's behind my monitors. I have a sit-stand desk, and it's in the stand position right now. But when I put it in the sit position, I have a clipboard on the wall, hanging on the wall, and it's got some things for me to do. One of them I have to contact the Fayette County Clerk's Office because my LLC isn't registered with them. I was supposed to get an email with a certain registration number, and then bring that to them, and then I pay like $40. And then bring that to them, one-time fee. Or I think it's a yearly fee. Or either way, I didn't pay it. So I gotta get that straightened out. Either way, I didn't pay it. I have to file an insurance claim with my car insurance. I clipped the barrier and smashed my side view mirror and ripped and smashed my side view mirror and ripped the oops. Also scratched up the door, but I mean I really enjoyed that. Also scratched up the door, but I mean I really enjoyed that. Also scratched up the door, but I mean I really enjoyed that. What else is on there? What else is on there? Oh, setting up Claude Code and the MCP server. Oh, setting up Claude Code. Something else. Well, another thing is I have Tonalic, and it says use it or lose it. Well, another thing is I have Tonalic, and it says use it. Tonalic is awesome. It's so freaking cool. You give it a chord progression. So freaking cool. And it's like stems. You load the stem in, it's like stems. And whatever that chord progression is, and whatever the tempo is, also the beat parameters, you know, where the primary beats and the secondaries and all that. Also the beat parameters, you know, where the primary it'll adapt to that. Secondaries and all that. But these aren't like these aren't MIDI instruments. These are well, in a way it is MIDI, but it's based on these studio musicians. They're actual recordings. It's based on these studio musicians. And friggin' AI just separates all the notes. And one thing that's really cool about it, because I'm a shitty keyboardist, so I can take those guitar parts, move them down into a MIDI track, and it will become a MIDI track based on those notes. And the recording's so clean you don't get any noise. Whenever I tried doing that with one of my, oh my God! Whenever I tried doing my recordings are kind of on the noisy side. My playing is kind of imprecise. To put it kindly, imprecise. So you kind of imprecise. So you kind of. I just haven't spent time with it. So use it or lose it. And if I cancel my subscription, it doesn't mean it's gone forever. I could always renew my subscription. It doesn't mean it's gone forever. I gotta get that into my head with Scentbird too. I know people say Scentbird's a ripoff too. I'm gonna do a video about that. It's not a ripoff. It's not a scam. It's not the most cost-effective way. It's not the most cost-effective. If you have if you know what's Scentbird, if you buy the full-size bottle. If you know what's Scentbird, and it will last you years. And perfume doesn't go that. And it will last you. As far as I know. And perfume doesn't go that. And it will last you. As far as I know. I mean, I know it evaporates. I mean, I know the full-size bottles. They're not going to evaporate anytime soon. Full-size bottles. So they're not going to evaporate anytime soon. In that regard, yeah, that's the best value. But if you want to sample a bunch of shit, that's the best value. $13 for an 8 milliliter travel size really isn't that bad. Considering you go all the other places. If you want a 1.5 milliliter sample, some of them do give it away. Sephora gives it away to its members. Some of them do give it away. And becoming a member doesn't cost anything. But you got to go there. Same thing with Macy's. Macy's gave me like 5 samples. Macy's gave me like 5 samples. Otherwise, everyone charges like $5-6 for them. You might get a few places that charge like $3 or $4 for them. But they're usually lesser brands. If you want like Versace, Dolce & Gabbana, shit like that. If you want like Versace, you're gonna be paying actually like $6-7 for a 1.5 milliliter. You're gonna be paying now. Actually like $6-7. Scentbird, I have 2 cents a month. Now, Scentbird, I have 2 cents a month. Now, so it's around $27. So it's around after tax, it's a little bit more. But I also get 2 samples after tax, it's a little bit more for $8. I also get 2 samples, so $1 off. And I get to sample a whole bunch of different fragrances. When it comes to cost effectiveness, it's really not a bad deal. Now there's a dude has the Asher show. And I really liked his video about Raycon earbuds. I kind of like the one about Magic Spoon, but he did something that I don't like. You know, and the one, he did something I really don't like on Scentbird. He's showing how some cologne she was interested in. I forgot what it was called. He does the math and he calculates it's going to be like about $102 if you go by what Scentbird is charging. The full size, he has Amazon. Full size, I think regular price was like $110, something like that. But he had a coupon, and it even says coupon applied. So it was $80. So he does the math not according to the 110, but to the 80. So it was $80. So he does the math not according to the 110, but to the 80. So it was $80. So he does the math not according to the. When you do something like that, you kind of sink your own brand. So what he did with the Magic Spoon, And I'm never.
So what he did with the magic spoon?
I don't really eat cereal. I bought a box of cereal about a year ago, and I just ate it out of the box.
Cereal about a year
You know, a handful here and a handful there.
It
was some kind of like, bran flake with the little,
some kind of like
dried pieces. I think strawberries or blueberries or something.
some kind of like
Dried pieces. I think
took me
strawberries. And little pieces of almonds. But yeah, it took me.
and little pieces of almonds.
About a week.
Yeah, it took me
Every day I'd probably like reach in, grab a handful or two, you know,
and
that was it.
Grab a handful or two.
So magic spoon,
And that was it.
for the price.
Magic spoon. And that was it.
I don't care how it
Magic
tastes.
spoon.
I don't care about its macros. I can do better. I can do better.
I don't care about its
You know,
macros.
I can on my own, and I don't miss cereal.
I don't care about its macros. I can
On my own, and I don't miss cereal.
I don't care about
I was more of an eggs guy.
miss cereal.
I was more of an eggs guy. When I was home in the morning and no one else was in the house, I would make
When I was
eggs.
home in the morning and no one else was in the house.
I wouldn't make the eggs myself. I would cook the eggs from what was in the refrigerator.
I wouldn't make the
But
eggs myself. I would cook the eggs.
I used to eat like 6 eggs at a time too. My mom didn't mind.
I used to eat like 6 eggs at a time.
She was always big on
Mom didn't mind.
protein.
I used to eat like 6 eggs at a time.
She was always big on
Mom didn't
protein.
mind.
And she kind of understood that low fat in dairy meant increased sugar.
Kind of understood that low fat in dairy
So-
meant increased sugar. Kind of understood that low fat in dairy meant increased sugar. Kind of understood that low fat in dairy meant increased sugar.
So Magic Spoon just doesn't interest me in any way, shape, or form. But it was fun watching him tear it
Spoon
apart.
just doesn't interest me in any way.
It was
shape,
fun
or form.
watching him
But
eat
it was
it.
fun watching him tear it apart.
You know?
Doesn't interest me in any way.
And
It was
thankfully
fun
he
watching
didn't
him.
amplify his mouth sounds, the chewing sounds.
Thankfully he didn't amplify his mouth
You
sounds.
could hear it, but it wasn't
He
like.
didn't amplify his mouth sounds.
You could hear it, but it wasn't like.
You could hear it, but it wasn't like.
But what he did, what does it contain?
But what he did,
Wasn't allulose,
but what he
which
did,
is
wasn't
I
allulose.
think it's a sugar alcohol.
Which is
But if you're going sugar free
alcohol,
or low carb,
but if you're
it's a good replacement in baking
or low
sugar.
carb, it's a
If
good
you
replacement in
use
baking or low carb.
erythritol or sucralose or any of those stevia,
Erythritol or sucralose or any of those
when
stevia,
baking it just doesn't
doesn't
work.
When
you know, you end up with like very bad consistency and texture whatever you make, cookies or cake or whatever. Allulose, I never tried it. I'm not a big baker.
Allulose,
But
I never tried it. I'm not a big baker. Allulose,
but it's banned in Europe.
not a big baker.
But Europe bans everything.
It's banned in Europe.
But Europe bans everything.
It's banned.
The thing is though is that I'm not sure if there are long-term
I'm not sure
studies done.
if there are long-term.
I know there was one done on saccharin, but it was bad news.
I know there was one done on saccharin.
Anyway, erythritol
I know there was one done on saccharin.
also contains erythritol. Now I use monk fruit with
Also contains
erythritol, or actually erythritol.
Now I use monk fruit with erythritol.
or actually erythritol.
Now, I use-
Anecdotally, I can say I haven't experienced anything.
Anecdotally, I can say I haven't experienced
For a while, years back, I was getting Metrex bars, and those are
For a
good.
while, years back, I was getting.
I ended up gobbling them down,
And those are good. For a while, years back.
and I read about
ended up gobbling
erythritol and
them
said
down, and those are good.
it either cause cramps,
And I read about
nope,
erythritol and said
diarrhea, nope, or flatulence.
Oh yeah. Nope. Diarrhea. Nope.
So I was lucky
Oh yeah.
that I got the flatulence and not the diarrhea.
So I was lucky
Bloating.
that I got the flatulence.
I don't think diarrhea. I think it was cramps. Yeah, bloating, cramps, or
I don't think
farts.
diarrhea. I think it was cramps. Yeah.
And lucky me, I
Bloating,
got
cramps,
farts.
or farts. I think it was cramps. Yeah.
And lucky
But
me, I got farts. When Asher was talking about studies on erythritol and
Studies
allulose,
on erythritol.
he didn't cite the what do you call it? He didn't cite the
He didn't cite
the
the
research.
He didn't cite the.
You know, he didn't give the sources to the research he was
He
citing.
didn't cite the.
And,
he didn't give
uh,
the sources to the research he was citing.
And we know, all of us, and even Asher knows,
We know
that there's a lot
all
of
us,
bullshit
Even Asher knows.
research
We
out
know
there.
that there's a lot of bullshit.
A lot of bad papers.
Research.
A lot of papers that are quickly, debunked.
Bad papers. Research.
A lot of papers that
Uh,
are quickly, debunked.
Bad papers. Research. A lot of papers that are quickly, debunked. Bad papers. A lot of papers that are quickly.
But he cites these studies anyway. And I don't know if they're legitimate or not.
These studies anyway.
Because he doesn't give a sources. But he puts this fucking piano behind it, and I fucking hate it. He puts this fucking piano behind it, and I fucking hate it. If I make a video and it's supposed to be informative, I'm not going to put music behind it. I'm not going to try to manipulate your emotions to feel in a certain way. To me, that's no different than propaganda. To me, that's no different than propaganda. Or actually, no, not propaganda, but coercion. CoffeeZilla recently did a video on deepfakes, and I love his definition of propaganda. Deepfakes. And so I think from now on, if I talk about propaganda, I'm going to use his definition. So I think for the definition that he presented. And don't get me wrong, I like Asher. I like the Asher show. And don't get me wrong, I like Asher. I like the Asher show. These little, like 45-second segments, kind of just like kill it for me. 45-second segments, kind of just like kill it for me. I don't know enough about Raycon. I don't know enough about Raycon to see, where he did it there. I don't know enough about Raycon. But I'm sure he did. I mean, it there. I don't know enough about Raycon. But I'm sure he did. I don't really give a shit about Raycon. I don't use earbuds. I got a pair of Sony MD something. But they're considered like Sony MD, basically the world standard of. But they're considered like of studio monitors. Nice flat response, no EQing. Studio monitors. Nice flat response. What goes in comes out here. Nice flat response. What goes in comes out here. And what goes in comes out here. And nobody's sponsoring me, so I don't care. I wish Scentbird would sponsor me, but so I don't care. I don't read copy. I wish Scentbird would sponsor. What I would do, I would do it just for a monthly subscription. What I would do, three vials. I would do it just for a monthly subscription. What I would do, plus the two samples, maybe a cart case every once in a while, and candle case every once in a while, maybe the auto scent thing. But yeah, and I'll give, I'll talk about, I'll review it, I'll talk about, I just don't know how. I'll talk about, I just don't know how. Scentbird ain't gonna sponsor me. I just don't know how. Scentbird would sponsor me. The CEO is so fucking batshit. The CEO is so fucking batshit. Oh, you know who Asher did a video on that I didn't find anything wrong with at all was on Jacko. That I didn't find anything wrong with at all was on Jacko. He was the guy behind Bang Energy Drink. He was the guy behind Bang Energy Drink. The only thing I could say about Jack Owak, I mean, the guy, the only thing I don't know if it was more batshit, the one at Scentbird or him, batshit, but the one at I did see some videos of him with his family, and it's like with Tom DeLauer with his family. And as much as I disagree or dislike, he seems like a really loving husband and father. And I didn't expect that. Really loving husband and father. That's not part of him as a CEO. Asher didn't bring up the family life part of him as a CEO. And he didn't talk about all like the models that Jack Owak would surround himself with when he's promoting the bank. That's part of it. So that's did a really good job on Jack Owak. Did a really good job on Jack. All right, so we're coming up on an hour. Yay! All right, so we're coming up. So this should be the second 4 mile. Yay! All right, so we're coming up. Meaning we're 8 miles now. Yay! And I haven't shut my mouth 8 miles now. All right, so I'm going to go down 3.6. All right, so I'm going to go down 3.6. All right, so I'm going to go down 3.6. I don't know if I'm going to open the windows or not. I might open the door. I don't know if I'm going to open the windows. I got to be careful, though. I might open the door. I don't know if I'm going to open the windows. I got to be careful. 3.2 miles an hour. These cameras, you can see this one right here.
You can see the side view here. It's held to the top of my monitor with Scotch tape. Held to the top. But if you touch the USB jack, they'll freeze. But if you touch the USB jack, like I said before, it's because I have too many things plugged into the motherboard. Like I said, the motherboard USB ports. I gotta put an expansion card in there. The motherboard USB ports. I gotta put an expansion card in there. The motherboard 2.8. I gotta put an expansion card in there. The motherboard 2.8. I gotta put an expansion card in there. The motherboard 2.8. And for the 5-minute rest, I'm gonna go out and pay attention to the dog. And for the 5-minute rest, I'm gonna go out and pay attention to the dog. And for the 5-minute rest, it helps him stay. Well, it doesn't help him stay mellow, but let's know on here. Well, it doesn't help him stay mellow, but 2.4. Let's know on here. It doesn't help him stay mellow, but 2.4. Let's know on here. It doesn't help him stay mellow. The lubricant I put on the lubricant I put on the has now spread out properly. The lubricant I put on the has now spread out properly. When I first got on this thing, the first like mile or two, when I first got on this thing, it was like skipping and slipping. Like mile or two, when I first got on this thing, it was like skipping and slipping. Mile or two, when I first got on this thing, it was like skipping and slipping. Mile or two, when I first got on this thing, it was like skipping and slipping. Mile or two, when I first got on this thing, it was like skipping and slipping. And I'll be right back in a little less than 5 minutes. And I'll be right back in a little less than 5 minutes. And I'll be right back in a little less than 5 minutes. And I'll be right back in. And it looks like the Gatorade is lasting just right, you know. And it looks like the Gatorade is lasting just right, you know. And it looks like the Gatorade is lasting just. I'll get like another 2 or 3 hours out of them. Like the Gatorade is lasting. I'll get like another 2 or 3 hours out of them. Like the Gatorade is lasting. I'll get like another 2 or 3 hours out of them. I'll get like another 2 or 3 hours out of them. I'll get like another 2 or 3 hours out of them. I'll get like another 2 or 3 hours out of them.
I think I'm going to leave the door open just to get some airflow. I'd like to open the windows, but get some airflow. I'd like to open the windows, but get some airflow. Almost 4 o'clock. It's going to be bright, and 4 o'clock. It's going to be bright, and 4 o'clock. Maybe in an hour. Oh. Oh, okay. Maybe in an hour. Oh, okay. Maybe in an hour. So yeah, 8 miles. Maybe another 2 hours. Yeah, 8 miles. Get to 16 miles today. Maybe another 2 hours. Yeah, 8 miles. Get to 16 miles today. Maybe another 2 hours. Yeah, 8 miles. Next week I'm going to leave the microphone off. Next week I'm going to leave the microphone off. No matter how strong my urge to babble, the microphone off. No matter how strong. Next week I'm going to do it for 6.5 hours and go for full. Next week I'm going to do it for 6.5 hours, 26 miles. Next week I'm going to do it for 6.5 hours, 26 miles. Next week I'm going to do it for 6. Anyway, on a 2% grade is much easier than a 4%. Anyway, and on a 2% grade is much easier than a 4%. Should be obvious. On a 2% grade is much easier than a 4%. Should be obvious. On a 2% grade is much easier than a 4%. Should be obvious. This is 3.6. I'm just doing this for a minute just to. This is 3.6. I'm just doing this for a minute just to ease into it. This is 3.6. When I did the 21 miles last week, I jumped right into it, and I think that might have screwed me up a little bit. All right, so we're 36 seconds in. So, all right, so we're 36 seconds in. So, all right, so we're 36 seconds in. So, all right, so we're. I think I might change my clothes after this one now. I think I might change my clothes after this one now. I think I might change my clothes after this one now. I think I might change my clothes. Feel good though. The bottoms of my feet feel good though. But that's kind of expected. Feel good though. But that's and it's a kind of pain that I can just deal with. And it's a kind of pain that I can just. It's not like a structural pain or anything like that. Structural pain or when you really strain connecting tissue. When you really strain connecting tissue. When you really strain. My muscles aren't cramping. My joints feel good. My joints feel good. My joints feel good. I'm not out of breath. Can you shut the fuck up? Can you shut the fuck up? Can you shut the fuck up? So, 4 o'clock, I do this till 6, take a shower. 4 o'clock, I do this till 6, take a shower. 4 o'clock, I do this. Maybe I'll make this the last hour. 12 hours. Maybe I'll make 12 miles. 12 hours. Maybe I'll make 12 miles. 12 hours. Maybe it's not so bad. You know, maybe I'll make it, I'll make this one 5 miles. You know, so maybe I'll make it, I'll make this one 5 miles. You know, so maybe I'll make it. So it'll be 75 minutes instead of 60. So it'll be 75 minutes instead of 60. Yeah, all right, that's what I'm going to do. 75 minutes instead of 60. Yeah, all right, that's what I'm going to do. Because tomorrow I'm going back to work. I might go on Sunday too. The next couple of weeks I'm going to be, you know, on Sunday too, putting in the hours. This past week I was off almost every day, putting in the hours. Yeah, I was off every day, almost every day, putting in the hours. Yeah, got a lot done. I cleaned the kitchen and bathroom floors. I was here when the burner guy came. I was here when the burner guy came. Did a lot of meal planning. I made a lot of meal planning. I ate too, but I still have 6 servings of ravioli and Italian sweet sausage in Alfredo sauce, which is incredible. Came out really good. It's Kroger sauce and sausage. Really good. It's Kroger and sauce Walmart brand ravioli. It's Kroger and Walmart brand. But I don't mind the store brand. It doesn't have to be homemade. But I don't mind the store brand. Ravioli. And the sauce, for that matter, might be they're considered ultra processed. Might be they're considered. So I'm only going to have that like once a week. So I'm only going to have that like once a week. It's so good. So I'm only going to have that like once a week. And I like to have food like that for breakfast. I don't do pancakes anymore. Pancakes are one of my favorite foods. I don't really go near. Pancakes are one of my favorite. I won't buy the frozen ones you just stick in the toaster. The frozen ones you just stick in the toaster. I could finish a whole package, no problem. I don't put syrup on them. I just put a little butter. I don't put syrup on them. I just put a little butter. I don't really like syrup. I don't put syrup on them. I don't know why. I lost my taste for it when I was around 12, 13. It just masks the flavor of the what do you call it? Of the pancakes. Masks the flavor of the same thing with waffles. I like pancakes better than waffles, but I kind of stay away from pancakes better than waffles, but I kind of stay away from pancakes better than waffles, but. For breakfast this morning, the other thing I made was macaroni and cheese with sliced spiral ham. Macaroni and cheese with put in there. Sliced spiral ham pieces. I had a serving of that this morning with this double serving of rice and beans. After having tea with collagen peptides and some Gatorade with creatine and taurine. I tried megadosing the creatine. Didn't feel an effect after a week. Felt no different, but it was also the same week I started taking Wellbutrin. I might give it another try in like maybe the summer when I'm more chemically stable. Right now I'm going through a transition going with the Wellbutrin. So right now I'm on 10 grams of creatine. I just use creatine monohydrate. There's a brand on Amazon, or at least I get it from Amazon, called It's Just. And that's where I get my taurine. It's just taurine powder. It's just creatine monohydrate. It's just taurine powder. It's just creatine monohydrate. Wow. Wow. Tornado producing squall, but it doesn't say where it is. I guess it's in my area. Tornado producing squall. I wouldn't be getting it. It's my radar. Tornado producing squall. I wouldn't be getting it. It's my radar. Last night I made soup, the seasoned cabbage soup, which is really good but really high in sodium. So the next time I make it, I'm going to be draining away a lot of the sodium. What else did I get done? Oh, I did my taxes. The taxes for the LLC. Oh, I did my taxes. I still have to do my personal income tax. Both for Kentucky and federal personal income tax. That's not going to be federal tax. That's not going to be federal tax. That's not going to be federal tax. I didn't really make much last year. Didn't really make much so far this year.
Didn't really make much.
I want to make that change by like May or June. I want to get something up on Steam
by like May or June.
If not, then itch.io.
Something up on Steam by like May or June.
If not, then itch.io. I want to have like a steady.
If not, then itch.io.
I want to have like a steady, like pretty much a schedule of like what I work on, when I work on it, when I'm out doing deliveries for Walmart, and when I got my nose to the grindstone here, and what I'll be working on. And frankly, I think the moneymaker isn't so much the. I mean, it's not the music. Music is the moneymaker. Isn't so much. Not really. It's not the music. Music is the moneymaker. Isn't so much. Not really. It's not the music. It's like hitting the lottery nowadays. The same odds. Games though, especially those inexpensive, less than $5 games. Especially those inexpensive, less than $5 games. Especially those inexpensive, less than $5. You give someone $100 Steam card. You give someone $100. And they buy. You give someone, $60 game and buy $20 game, and $10 game, and you got like $8 left. $10 game, and you got like looking through $8 left. And that's where my game's going to be. I do have an MMO in mind, but it's more of an MMO RTS with role-playing elements. With role-playing elements. It's kind of like Civilization combined with any real-time strategy game. Empire Earth would be a good example. Empire, except you have individual characters, including yourself. Except you have not yourself, but your own character. Is a unit on yourself, but your own character on the map. Is a unit on yourself, but your own character on the map. And when it's in the capital, and when it's in the capital, things work a certain way. And if you're the warrior type, you have your guy. Things work a certain way. And if you're the warrior along type, with your troops, your guy. There's morale bonuses and all kinds of shit. There's morale. But he dies. Then the offspring dies. So in that respect, it's kind of like. So in that respect, it's kind of like paradox. So in that respect, it's kind of like paradox. Not Crusader Kings. Paradox. Not Crusader Kings. What's that called? Paradox. It was a cool game. Very, very, very complex. You got to be like Machiavellian to do well enough. You got to be like Machiavellian to do well enough. I used to think I was a good strategy guy. I'm not. I used to think I was a good strategy guy. I'm not. I used to think I was a good strategy guy. Oh well. I used to think I was a good strategy guy. Oh well. So yeah, 13 miles today. So yeah, 13 miles today. So yeah, 13 miles today. And so yeah, 13 miles today. And yeah, I feel no urge to stop. Yeah. I'm closing in on the ninth on the If I turn this up to 4.5 miles an hour, I don't know if I could do the 26 miles. I might try that someday. I don't know if I could do the 26. See how far I can get. I don't want to burn myself out. I'm setting a tentative date. I don't want to burn myself out. I'm setting the second or third Saturday in April. I got to get in touch with a gym. I got to get in touch with. I got to get all the. I got to get all the details together for doing a fundraiser. I've never done one before. All the details together for doing a fundraiser. I've never done one before. All the details together for doing a fundraiser. I've never done one before. I have to balance that out with everything else I do. One thing I do know, I will have that day off. And the day before. One thing I do know, I will have that day off. And the day before. One thing I do know, I will have that. Fridays are usually training, cardio day. Are usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Saturday's usually strength training. That week would be an exception. Saturday's usually. But I think I'll still do the cardio. That week would be an exception. But I think I'll still do the cardio. That week would be an exception.
before. Like a 90-minute precursor to the 6.5 hours I'll be doing. Like a 90-minute precursor to the 6.5 hours I'll be doing. Like a 90-minute precursor to the 6.5 hours I'll be doing. Like a 90-minute precursor to the 6.5 hours. And I think about it sometimes, and I think about kind of cynically, an old guy spends 6.5 hours on a fucking treadmill, so fucking what? An old guy spends 6.5 hours on a fucking treadmill, so fucking what? An old guy spends 6.5 hours on a fucking treadmill, so fucking what? An old guy spends 6.5 hours on a fucking treadmill, so fucking what? An old guy spends 6.5 hours That's something I have that I can't help but think about. That's something I have that I can't help but think about. That's something I have that I can't. What would compel someone to? That's something I have that I can't. What would compel someone to? What would donate someone to? Maybe if I was giving someone a piggyback ride. Maybe if I was giving someone a piggyback ride. Not gonna do it on this treadmill. Giving someone a piggyback ride. Not gonna do it on this treadmill. Not gonna do it on this treadmill. Alright, so we're past the 9-mile mark. And I think next week, when I go for the 26th, I am going to change into dry clothes. I'll probably do that after each hour. Starting to feel some chafing on the inside of my left thigh. And that can be really painful. I haven't had it really bad in about 5 years. One day it hit me really bad, and it was like painful enough to where I just wanted to like lie in bed and then not do anything. Take my clothes off, put a sheet over me, run a fan, you know, anything to reduce that pain. Went away though. I mean, like, of course it did. Within a few hours, I would say like maybe 4 or 5 hours it was gone. Oh boy, that sucked. I had really wicked hemorrhoids too. That was a brutal day. And I didn't really do anything. Just flared up out of nowhere. Took a shower later on. By that time, I stopped using soap and I started using moisturizing bars. And I guess that's why I didn't get any inflammation from that. The shower didn't make it any worse. Ooh. Ooh. The belt just slipped a little bit.
pace was off a little bit. Ooh, excuse me. The pace was off a little bit. There it goes. Excuse me. The pace was off a little bit. There it goes. Excuse me. The pace was off a little bit. There it goes. Excuse me. The pace was off. Yeah, I think next week. I might just queue up a bunch of guitar hunting episodes from Troglin's Guitar Show and watch that. Guitar hunting episodes from Troglin's microphone and watch that. Keep my mouth shut, save my wind for the distance. Keep my mouth shut, save my wind for the distance. I'm sure it makes a difference. 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 Yeah, the chafing's starting to flare up a little. It's not. Yeah, the chafing's starting to flare up. It's not that bad. It's not. Yeah, the chafing's starting to flare up. It's not that bad. If it does flare up, I'm just going to stop. It's not that bad. If it does flare up, take a cool or kind of a warm shower. I haven't showered yet today anyway, so. 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 I haven't showered yet Definitely gonna do some shopping tonight. Want to get bananas. Definitely gonna do some shopping tonight. I've been eating oranges lately.
Definitely gonna do some shopping tonight.
I've been eating Walmart has them 88 cents each, but they kind of suck.
Walmart has them 88 cents each.
Yeah, not bad, but they kind of suck. Sunkist.
Yeah, not bad, but they kind of suck. Sunkist. Yeah, not bad, but they kind of suck.
Kind of on the dry side.
Yeah, not bad, but they
Kind of on the dry side. But they're not bad.
kind of on the dry side.
Yeah, I've been snacking on fruit at night. I get hungry at night.
At night.
I get hungry at night. But I'll either have. I mean, sometimes I can have as many as like 3 bananas. So. Sometimes I can have as many as like 3 bananas. So. When I've done that, I've still lost weight overnight, like half a pound or a pound or so.
When I've done that, I've still.
Last night I actually. Well, this morning I was a pound heavier than I was yesterday. That doesn't really bother me because it's still 3 pounds lighter than I was Sunday.
That doesn't really bother me because it's still 3 pounds lighter than I was Sunday. That doesn't really bother me because it's still 3 pounds lighter.
I think like after like 9 o'clock or so, I just don't eat anything but like
after like 9 o'clock or so, I just don't eat
cucumbers,
anything but like
well, bananas, oranges,
cucumbers, anything but like
well, bananas, oranges,
cucumbers,
stuff like that.
well, bananas, oranges, stuff like that.
They mark the pineapples down to like $1.89 each.
They mark the pineapples down to like $1.
And I want to get one and just chop it up.
Pineapples down to like $1.
And I want to get one and just chop it up. I've also been getting Walmart low-fat vanilla Greek yogurt. And I noticed the second ingredient after milk.
And I noticed the second ingredient
fructose.
after milk.
Fructose, however you want to say it. Yeah, fructose.
Fructose, however you want to say it. Yeah, fructose.
Now, I'm really active, so now
I'm really
my
active.
body
So now
processes that,
my body
rather efficiently. So I really not too much to worry about, but
rather efficiently. So I really not too much to worry about, but rather efficiently. So
it's not hard to get me to overeat.
It's not hard to get me to overeat,
Especially because I'm very like easy to satisfy.
especially because I'm very like easy to satisfy.
So
Especially because I'm very like easy.
I might switch to the full fat, just to avoid the
Might switch
like
to the
I
full
think
fat. Just to
the
avoid
fat
the
in Greek yogurt.
I think
I'm better off dealing with
fat
than
in Greek
fructose.
yogurt. I think I'm better off dealing
Although
with
the
that.
sugar, if you look at the nutrition panel,
Although the sugar, if you look at the
sugar's still
nutrition
pretty
panel,
low. I think it's like 4
although the
grams.
sugar, if you look at the
Sugar's still pretty
nutrition
low.
panel,
It's still 4 grams.
sugar, if you look at
I'll check to see what it is and then take a look later on.
I'll
Maybe
check
I
to
start
see what
getting
it
full
is and
fat.
then take a look later on.
But their
Maybe I
vanilla
see
Greek
what it
yogurt
is
is
and
really good, and the
But
price is
their,
really low.
Vanilla Greek yogurt is really good, and the price is really low.
I do a lot of shopping at Kroger, so Kroger sends me all these Nito coupons. So with those Nito coupons, it gets it down to the price of Walmart. The thing is, though, and I found this out with the Alfredo sauce.
The thing is, though, and I found this out with the
Walmart's.
Alfredo sauce.
At one time, I think it was $1.29. I think it's up to $1.89 now. Their Alfredo sauce,
$1.29. I think it's up to $1.89 now. Their Alfredo sauce,
it's awful.
Their Alfredo sauce.
I can't imagine anybody liking it. So why
I
make
can't imagine anybody liking it.
the Kroger Alfredo sauce is pretty damn good. You know, I've had real Alfredo. You know,
I've had
made without
real
cream and shit like
Alfredo.
that.
I've had made without cream and Alfredo.
I'm from New York. I mean, come on.
Made without cream and Alfredo.
But the stuff that Walmart, that Kroger puts in a jar, not bad. Not bad. I like it.
That Kroger puts in a jar. Not bad. Not bad. I like it.
I've had a lot more store brand Alfredo than you know, restaurants or homemade
Alfredo than
restaurants or
Store brand.
homemade. I'm not a food snob. I am a beer snob.
I'm not a food
Not a food snob.
I am a beer snob.
But I am trying to avoid like the processed
Beer
carbs,
snob.
the highly
But I am
processed
trying to
carbs.
avoid like the processed carbs.
The highly
But I am
processed
trying to
carbs.
avoid like the processed carbs.
The highly
But I am
processed
trying to
carbs.
avoid like the processed.
So I've been like lightening up on the bread.
So I've been like,
You know,
lightening up on the bread.
so I've been like,
You know, And when I do get bread, I try to get the whole grain, but, you know, and when I do get a loaf of Walmart sandwich wheat, which isn't like the whole wheat sandwich which isn't like the whole wheat. It's like like slightly tanned like white bread. The metrics are a little bit better. You know, makes you feel better because it says wheat on the bag. Makes you feel better. I'll have wheat on the bag. Makes you feel better. I'll wrap up some sardines in a slice of bread. I'll get like 2 of these per can of sardines. I'll get like 2 of these per can of sardines. That I consider semi-acceptable. When I'm looking to fill up my gut at the end of the night. I used to lose like 2-3 pounds a night, but I was going to bed at like 10 o'clock and waking up at like 5-6 in the morning. And waking up at like 5-6 in the morning. And I was very strict about not eating like very strict 3 or 4 hours before I went to bed. And I got down to 138 pounds from 225. I got down to 138 pounds. But it took long. 225. I got down to 138 pounds. But it took long. 225. I got down to 100. I kind of think about going down to 125 to see if I can do like 100-pound weight loss. But it would be over like a 5-year period. But still, it would be over like a 5-year period. It'd be a fun thing to do. I think it would require a tremendous lifestyle change that I'm not willing to do. A tremendous lifestyle. If I can get down to 135, that would be neat. If I can get down to 135. I didn't visit doctors for a long time between when I was like 13, 14 years old till I was in my late 30s. 13, 14 years old. But I did go once when I was 23. Oh wait, no, I would say from like 20, 21 years old, because I got into an accident when I was 19. Fractured my skull on a job site. Fractured my skull. But when I was 23, I do remember the doctor's visit where they measured, you know, they got all my measurements. Doctor's visit where they got my weight, and I was 135. And that was with clothing, so I was probably closer to like 130. I used to wear work boots. I always wore work boots. Nothing but. I used to wear work boots. I always wore work boots. So, nothing but. I used to wear work boots. I always wore work boots. So, if I can get down to 135, that's how much I weighed when I was 23. If I can get down to 135, that's how much I weighed when I was 23. I can get down to 135. You know, I'm doing it in a healthy fashion. You know, I'm doing it not crash dieting or anything like that. I'm doing it not crash dieting. There was a girl I knew who was heavy. There was a girl and she crash dieted. There was a girl and she gained it back like got even bigger. And she'd do it again and come back even bigger. And she'd do it again and come back. Beautiful woman. But now she's, you know, beautiful woman. Satisfied just being a fat pretty woman. Beautiful woman. And she's sweet as hell. She's one of the nicest people I've ever known. She's one of the nicest people I've ever known. By the sounds of it, she's in good health. By the sounds of it, she's in good health. You know, even if she's... By the sounds of it, she's in good health. You know, even if she's 150, 200 pounds over her... even if she's 150, 200 preferred weight, you know, for her frame and her height and everything. Preferred weight, you know, for her frame and her height and everything. Preferred weight, you know, for her frame and her height. One thing I don't think people take into consideration with BMI is the frame. I mean, they do the circumference at the waist. But I think there should be some consideration for the hip and shoulder measurements. Because I know people that even if they got down to like a BMI of like say 21, they still look big. They still look, you know, too broad. They still look big. They still look, you know, too broad. They still look big. They still look too broad. They still look big. So I don't know. Well, we're a quarter mile past the 10-mile mark. Well, we're a quarter mile. So another 2.5 miles. Well, we're a quarter mile. I'll shut up and go.
About 40 minutes. I'll shut up and get off. About 40 minutes. I'll shut up and get off. About 40 minutes. I'll shut up and get off. I guess I'm going to get another bottle of wine. Before I even take a shower, I should take the wine in the refrigerator out. Take the wine in the refrigerator out. You should get 1.5 liters so I don't have to get any tomorrow. I'm not. Saturday nights I usually go wild. I'm not on Discord with a friend of mine. And last Saturday I drank from 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. I drank from 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. I drank shit. I drank shit. 1 4-pack or 2 4-packs of Kentucky Bourbon Barrel. I think it was just one. Because I also drank a 12-pack of Bourbon Barrel. Or about 10 Heineken 12-pack Bourbon Barrels. Or about 10 Heineken. No. Oh shit. Or about 10 Heineken. No. Oh shit. Yeah, about 10 Heinekens and 4 Kentucky Bourbon Barrels. Yeah, about 10 Heinekens and 4 Kentucky Bourbon Barrels. Yeah, about 10. The next day I went to Kroger. I ran out of this sugar-free or zero sugar ginger ale. I love their zero sugar ginger ale. Kroger brand. I love their Big K ginger ale. Kroger brand. So I went to go buy a few bottles. I went into the store. Came back out. I was dressed very to the store. Yeah. Came back out. Like when I go to the stores, I'll go dressed like this. Except like when I go to the stores, these pants are long, so I'll throw on a pair of. I got high heel boots, so I'll throw on a pair of. I got high heel boots. I got 2-inch pair and 3-inch pair, so I'll put on the 3-inch pair. I got 2-inch pair and 3-inch pair, so I'll put on the 3-inch pair. Suddenly I'm 5'9". But suddenly on Sunday now I was wearing my sneakers. But suddenly on Sunday wearing my farm jeans. But I made it to the car. I started the car, getting ready to. Made it to the car. My stomach was feeling queasy. My mouth's getting watery, and I puked in the Kroger parking lot. Queasy. My mouth's getting watery, and I puked in the Kroger parking lot. Queasy. My mouth's getting watery. But when you're a partier, that's the way it is. A partier. And I laughed, of course. I mean, that to me is funny as hell. And I laughed, of course. I mean, that to me is the fact that I'm doing this at 58. And I laughed. You know, acting like a college kid. I'm doing this at 58. And I laughed. You know, acting like a college kid. But I'm never married and I have no kids. I have no responsibilities outside of myself. I'm never married and I have no kids. I have no responsibilities. And I kind of designed my life that way. I kind of saw the writing on the wall when I was very young. Kind of saw the writing on the wall. My father abandoned my family when I was about 3 months old, and I saw what it did to my mom. My father abandoned my family. I have a brother 5 years older and a sister 10 years older, and they filled me in even more. This is how badly it affected her. And they filled me in even more. And I'm not responsible. I mean, I'm not totally irresponsible, but I know I'm not responsible. I'm totally irresponsible, but I care for a family. I know I'm not responsible. I'm totally irresponsible. I'm too messed up. I have too many screws loose. I'm too messed up. I have too many screws loose. I'm too messed up. I have too many screws loose. I also was not always as mellow as I am now. I also was not always as mellow as I am now. And I was raised Catholic and got all the guilt trips and shit. And I was raised and I learned from the best how to guilt trips and shit. And I was raised and I learned from the best how to guilt trips and shit. So I know I would just be. So I know, spreading more me's out in the world. So I know, and I'm not saying I'm like a horrible person or all that, but. And I'm not saying I'm like a horrible person or all that, but. And I'm not saying I'm like a horrible person. I don't think if I had kids, they'd be living their best lives. I don't think if I had kids, they'd be glad I didn't. I never got a girl pregnant. I'm never going to get a phone call. Never got a girl pregnant. You're my father. No, I'm not. Never got a girl pregnant. You're my father. No, I'm not. I stayed close to pretty much every ex-girlfriend. I stayed close to pretty much to see if they get pregnant or not, to see if they get pregnant or not. And 9 months after we broke up, they were all slender as they were on day one. We broke up. I had some really slender as they were on day one.
I had some rolls.
I didn't have a lot of them, bud. Quality over
Didn't have a lot of them,
quantity.
bud.
Quality over
Didn't have a lot of
quantity.
them, bud.
One of them had such a slender waist, and
One of them had such a slender
unusual.
waist.
Like her build was unusual. She was just so
Unusual.
Like
her
she
build
wore
was
this
unusual.
prom
She
dress.
was just
I went to 3 proms, none of them my own.
Prom dress.
Quit school at 16.
None of
But
them
she
my
had
own.
this prom dress. It was actually 2 pieces. It had like a top.
She had this
I
prom
don't know
dress.
what you would call it.
Actually,
Bodice is called.
top,
And the bottom was a long skirt.
and the bottom was a long skirt.
And it's not like, her belly was sticking out or anything like that,
And it's not like,
her
belly was sticking out or anything like that,
But it was, I remember my mom
But it was
looking at her
my
prom picture, her prom picture, and saying,
looking at her prom picture, her prom picture, and saying, looking
that
at her
waist,
prom
that is an enviable waist.
that waist, that is
Beautiful
an
girl.
enviable waist.
Friends with her on Facebook.
That is
Beautiful
an
girl.
enviable waist. Friends with her on Facebook.
We broke up,
Beautiful girl.
and I got all melodramatic and
We
shit.
broke up.
So
And I
there
got
was
all
like
melodramatic.
10, 15 years we didn't hear from
So
each other.
There was
Uh,
like 10, 15 years we didn't hear from each other.
And then we ran into each other on Facebook, and he was like, hey.
So,
And then we ran into each other on Facebook. She's
okay.
got 5 kids, loving
we ran
mom,
into each other on Facebook.
she's got
good
good husband.
kids,
Yeah,
loving
I'm
mom.
really, I'm like happy to see that.
She's got
Good
five
husband.
kids. I'm like happy
I
to
don't
see
think that could have been me. I think if it was
I don't
me,
think that could have been me.
I think if it was me, we would have split up. The children would probably
would have
be
split up.
traumatized and miserable.
The children,
Despite the fact that she's an excellent mom.
miserable. The
Despite the fact that she's an excellent mom.
you know,
And even if I was a good loving father,
and even
there would be the
if
financial
I was
burdens,
a good loving father,
which I just wouldn't
there
be
would
able to
the
meet.
financial burdens. A good loving father,
Which I just wouldn't
there
be
would be
able
the
to meet.
financial burdens.
And if by some chance I won the lottery, I probably would have blown it all on coke.
And if by some chance I won the lottery, I probably would have blown it all on coke.
Coke and guitars,
Coke and guitars,
and weed,
Coke and guitars,
and weed,
Coke and guitars,
and weed. So I've changed a lot. 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 I wonder if things would be different if I met someone nowadays.
Things
You
would be
know,
different if I met
and
someone nowadays. Things
you
would be
know,
different if I met
and
someone nowadays.
58 now, so I'll be
58
76 when the kid turns 18.
So I'll be 76 when the kid turns 18. So I'll be 76 when the kid turns 18.
76, I think by then my luck might start running out, but who knows?
76, I think by
The
then my luck
advancements in
might start running out, but
science.
who knows? 76, I think by
The
then
a lot of people are saying, do everything you can to stay alive
A lot of people are
because
saying,
lifespans are
do
going
everything
to
you
go
can to
nuts.
stay alive because
Lifespans are going
everything
to
you
go
can
just from the
nuts.
sheer amount of research that AI is doing,
sheer
or
amount of
assisting
research
with.
that AI is doing.
Protein folding and
AI is doing.
protein folding, DNA mapping, genome mapping, all that shit.
DNA mapping,
Very
genome
impressive.
mapping, all that shit. DNA
Stay alive.
mapping,
Very
genome
impressive.
mapping, all that shit. DNA
Stay alive.
Very impressive. Mapping, all that shit. Stay alive. Very impressive. Stay alive.
All right. So I'm gonna go to Kroger and get more of the Gatorade Zeros. And get more of
The
yeah,
Gatorade
for like 3 for
Zeros.
$5.
Yeah, like
That's pretty much the best deal in town right now.
That's pretty much the best deal in town right now.
Around here, we have Aldi, which I really don't go to.
Around here,
If I'm looking for something,
really don't go to,
cute and quirky, I'll go to Aldi, but otherwise no. Walmart, which is like my mainstay.
Otherwise no.
Walmart,
Especially for like 12 packs of Heineken, the price is right.
Especially for like,
12 packs of Heineken, the price is
Kroger.
right. Especially for like,
Kroger's great for meat.
Kroger.
Kroger's because they'll slash the prices. I got pork loins, big pieces.
They'll slash the prices.
I
got
buy one get one free.
big pieces. They'll slash the prices.
I got buy one get one free. So I got two nice pork ones for practically $6 each.
So I got two nice pork ones.
They had spiral hams.
So I got two nice pork ones.
Excuse me. They had spiral hams. Big spiral hams. $30 hams.
Spiral hams. Big
$35 hams.
$30 hams.
For between $8 and $12, or $8 and $13.
Between $8 and $12.
And I thought I had two of them in the freezer. I thought I had in the freezer.
Two of them in the freezer. I thought I had freezer. Two of them in the freezer. I thought I had freezer.
I want to do another turkey soon. I love cooking turkeys. That's just such a blast. Something I never thought I'd be able to do.
That's just such a blast.
Something I never. I did 3 turkeys so far. They all came out great.
I did 3 turkeys so far.
The meat was tender. It wasn't dry.
I did 3 turkeys so far.
The meat was tender. It wasn't. I carved it to the best of my ability. Made soup out of the carcasses.
I carved it to the best of my ability. Made soup out of the carcasses.
The meat that I froze, thawed out to be tender and
meat that I froze,
not at all dry.
Thawed out to be tender and meat that I froze, not at all dry.
So I'm really excited about that. So I want to do another turkey.
So I'm really excited.
Thing is, I'm going to have to do a ham or two first.
Thing is, I'm going to have to do a ham or two
first because there's no room for a turkey in that freezer. Unless I just left it out and let it thaw, and then cooked it on the day.
Unless I just
thawed
left it
out
out
and let it thaw. There's really not even room in the refrigerator now because I made a massive pot of soup last night. But I'll burn through that very quickly. But I'll burn through that very quickly. I wanted to give some of it away, but it's so high in sodium. I'd probably be endangering people's lives. I'd probably be endangering people's lives. A 2-cup serving, that's what I usually have.
A 2-cup serving
It's over 2,000 milligrams sodium.
2-cup serving is over 2,000 milligrams.
Or around there. Between like 1,800 and 2,100. Between like 1,800 and 2,100. Between like 1,800 and 2,100. Between like 1,800 So less than a half hour left. I feel fine.
So less than half.
Bottoms of my feet, I feel fine. When you're on your feet all day, it's that feeling. When you're on your feet all day, it's not bad. We're past the 11-mile mark. It's not bad. We're past the 11-mile mark. So the bottoms of my feet hurt. That's not what stopped me last time at 21 miles. I was winded. I was exhausted.
21 miles.
And that was because I wouldn't shut the fuck up. So next week, no microphone. And I'm just going to put Troutman's guitar show on and put the headphones on. I'm just going to put Troutman's. I can switch it out every hour. And put the headphones on. I'm just going to put Troutman's. I can switch it out every hour. I can watch. I can switch it out every hour. I can watch Trogley for about 2 hours doing the guitar hunting. I can watch Trogley for about 2 hours doing the guitar hunting. I can watch Trogley. I can watch that chapter for about an hour. I can watch Lorelads for an hour. Lorelads and watch. They're good. Lorelads for an hour. In fact, they got a 2-hour plus episode about Dennis Martin. So that could be something I watch. So that could be something I watch. A lot of good stuff. So that could be something I watch. A lot of good stuff. So that could be something I watch. Oh shit! I could put on what do you call it? A bunch of Fender Studio Pro videos. I learned something worthwhile while I'm doing it. Music theory for guitar. I learned something worthwhile while I'm doing some Tommaso's for guitar. Doing some Tommaso's for guitar. Who else? Paul Davies. I think his name is Davies or who else? Davis. Paul Davis. He's a European guitarist. Davis. He's makes great videos. 5 Watt World makes great videos. Something else I could watch. I could start coming up with a playlist. I could start coming up with a playlist. What else? Anton Petrov. He's a lot of fun. John Michael Gaudier. He's really good. He's got a show called Event Horizon. Really good. Where he is an interview show. Event Horizon. And he'll have like an interview show. Like top-notch people. He'll have like. I'm not really big on like the science world. I don't, I'm not really big on like the science world. I don't, I'm not really recognizable names you see on YouTube and shit. He's good. He's really good and shit. Who else? He's really good and shit. Who else? I know I'm forgetting people. Clint's Reptiles. I know I'm forgetting Casual Geographic. Casual Geographic. Bob Gimlin. Just ContraPoints. Put some of her stuff on. Just ContraPoints. Put some of her stuff on. I don't know if you can hear the bolt rattling around. I don't know if you can hear the in the housing right in front of this machine, but it's in the housing. I keep worrying about it getting jammed up in the front roller. I keep worrying about it getting jammed up in the front roller. And this thing just seizing. That would suck. And this thing just seizing. That would suck. I would just yank this little safety out, the little safety magnet. Yank this little, call it a day. Safety out, the little safety. Well, I'd spend the rest of the day trying to get the friggin' bolt out of there. Safety out. Well, I'd spend the rest of the day trying to get the friggin' bolt out of there. Well, I'd spend the rest of the day trying to get the friggin' bolt out of there. I've told this story before, but I got this like the second week of January. I got this like the second week. Paid $325 for it. I have an ongoing paid $325 policy with Sony Tech through Amazon. So anything electrical or electronic is covered by this insurance policy. So even my ceiling fan is insurance policy. So even my ceiling fan. So one day I hear ping. I don't really think of it. I thought something like fell off of the desk. I don't really think of it. Vibrations. Fell off of the desk. Ends up it was a bolt. Came out of this thing. Ends up it was a bolt. All right. Came out of this thing. Try getting the bolt back in. I couldn't. My fingers won't fit in it. Try getting the bolt back in. So I figured, maybe they got a specialized tool, like a little ratchet, an Allen wrench, head or something, a little ratchet, an Allen wrench, head or something. So I call them up. I tell them, hey, can you send someone over to repair it? And they said, no, we don't have anyone in your area. We'll just refund you. And they said, no, we don't have sending back $325. So it's like I paid $23. I paid the tax. So it's like I paid $23. Delivery was free. Amazon. So it's like I paid $23. Delivery was free. Oh shit! What do you know? Delivery was free. Oh shit! And I know how I'm going to get that friggin' bolt out of there now. I'm going to turn it sideways. And I know how I'm going to get that. Which means I got to make some room in here. Turn it sideways. And I know how I'm going to get that. Which means I got to make some room in here. Turn it sideways. But I'm sure you can hear the rattling. But I'm sure you can hear the rattling. That is such an unwholesome sound. I got about a little under 18 minutes left, so I'm hoping this machine will hold out till under 18 minutes left. I still give this thing 5 stars because it's been running. I still give this thing 5 stars because it's been a month and a half now without that bolt in it. It's been a month and a half now without that bolt in it. And as you can see, I'm not pounding on it, but I'm not really. I'm not stepping light on it, but I'm not really. I'm not stepping light on it, but I'm not really. I'm not stepping light on it. Alright, there it goes. Alright, there it goes. Alright, there it goes. So I got my money back for this. And, I mean, I don't feel bad about it. At first I did, but then I calculated out that I'm paying $20 a month almost for about 3.5 years. I've had this policy for 3.5 years. So I mean, do the math. 3.5 years. So I mean, do the math. You know, $240 times 3. $240 times 3. So I'd given him what, like $740 times 3. So I plus the half year, so plus the half year, 860. So I plus the half year, 860. Thing is, though, I already got that back too. I had a laptop. Thing is, though, I already got that back too. I had a laptop, and they refunded me, and that was like a $2,400 laptop. And I'm so glad they came through for me there. If they didn't, I would have been heartbroken. I'm so glad they came through for me there. If they didn't, I would have been heartbroken. I'm so glad they came through for me there. If they didn't, I would have been heartbroken. And I would have been left with a useless, broken laptop. So when anyone asks me about a Syrian tech, I'm going to tell them, like, I've had multiple good experiences with them. And I have no intention on ending my policy with them anytime soon. I wonder if they cover other shit too, though. Tell them that the stitching came out in the shirt. I like these shirts. I got my shirts from a company called Real Essentials. They're comfortable. You get 5 for like $35. So they're $7 each. You have to buy them 5 at a time. The colors are all right. I mean, they're not, you know, but I like them. They're comfortable. I used to wear Rothko, but Rothko, I guess maybe it's just me, but when I sweat them, they smell really bad. Like this, you know, it doesn't smell. It's not like I have to stick my nose under my arm to smell it. Rothko, so you smell it 4 feet away. And it's a shame because I like their clothes. I like their t-shirts especially. But I started switching to more feminine clothes, and the Rothko just doesn't really fit that. I mean, you know, when I'm doing shit at the farm, yes. I mean, I don't dress like this. Doing shit at the farm. I mean, I don't dress like this. You go there, you're getting dirty. I wear, work boots. I don't wear, fancy boots. Don't even wear sneakers there. Yeah, I'm gonna do the 13 miles. So half a marathon. We're closing in on the 12-mile mark now. About it, I guess, like a minute and a half away. Yeah, 1/10 of a mile away. Woo. gotta come up. That's what I'm gonna do tonight, definitely. A to-do list for the fundraiser. Definitely. A to-do list for the fundraiser. Definitely. A to-do list. And they have a fundraising kit on their website. So I have to really go through that. I gotta look through YouTube's rules and how they set up fundraisers. And how they set up fundraisers. I just don't want to do it here. That'd really be pushing it on this treadmill. And if I can go beyond 26 miles, I will. If I got people pledging donations per mile, per hour, donations per mile, per hour, we just crossed the 12-mile mark. We just crossed the 12-mile mark. The chat window just lit up, but there's no chat in there. It just went white and then it went back to black. There's no chat in there. It just went white and then it went back to black. There's no chat in there. It just went white and then it went back to black. There's no chat in there. It just went white and then it went back to black. Just drifting on the walking pad. Just drifting on the walking pad. Just drifting on the walking pad. I think next week when I do the 26 miles, I'm going to start with the windows open. The lighting's going to suck. I'm going to start with the windows open. The lighting's going to suck. I'm going to start with the windows open. The lighting's going to suck. I'm really doing this. This is for training for the fundraiser. This is for training for this is for training I guess it doesn't really matter with the lighting and all that. I mean, maybe to an extent with the lighting and all that. I'm going to put the window fans in. Window fans in. Because it is starting to feel a little stuffy, even with the ceiling fan going. It's 59 degrees outside. It's 59 degrees outside. It's 59 degrees outside. But the house is warm because we had the heat on this morning. The house is warm because we had the heat on. I think it was like 45 degrees out. 40 degrees. I think it was like 45 degrees out. 40 degrees. I think it was like 45 degrees out. 40 degrees. I think it was like 45 degrees out. 40 degrees. Still a little more than 10 minutes. Still a little more than 10 minutes. Still a little more than 10 minutes. Still a little more than 10 minutes.
The treadmills at Planet Fitness only go for an hour. This one will go for 99 minutes. This one will go for 99 minutes. There's another gym I want to look into. They're kind of in line with they're kind of in line with what I'm doing the fundraiser for. They're kind of in line with what I'm doing the fundraiser for. I wonder if their treadmills are set up like this one. I wonder if they're 99 instead of like 6 treadmills are set up like this one. And if so, I could do 5-mile segments instead of 4. So each one would be like an hour and 15 minutes instead of an hour. So each one would be like an hour and 15 minutes instead of an hour. So each one would be like an hour and 15 minutes instead of an hour. I don't know. Or if I kept them an hour, I would have room. Or if I kept them on either side for a warm up, and I would have room. Or if I kept don't really need to cool off as much as I need to warm up, and that's just like 2 minutes. Don't really need to cool off as much as I need to warm up, and that's just like 2 minutes. Don't really need to cool off as much as I need to warm up, and that's just like a minute at 2.8. And a minute at 3.6, and then go up to 4 miles an hour. 3.6, and then go up to 4 miles an hour. 3.6, and then go up to 4 miles an hour. 3.6. But we're pretty much at the 12.5 mile mark. We're pretty much at the 12.5. So I imagine about 7 minutes. Yeah, about 7.5 minutes. 7 minutes. Yeah, about 7.5 minutes. 7 minutes. Yeah. So then I could take a shower. And what was I going to get at Walmart? Fuck! What was I going to get at Walmart? Oh, bananas, cucumbers, and oranges. Oh, and I think I want to get collagen peptides because I'm going to run out. I think I want to get collagen. I don't like missing that. I'm going to run out. And I don't like missing that. I'm going to run out. Oh, I gotta get dick wipes. I don't like missing that. For what I was talking about before about for what I was talking about before about the bladders of men in their late 50s. The bladders of men. I buy the cheapest brand of Walmart toilet paper. It's like 97 cents for 4 rolls. Walmart toilet paper. It's like 97. I'll just keep them like over the toilet. I'll just keep them like over the toilet. Because I don't want to burn through the ass. I don't want to burn through the ass. I don't want to burn through the ass. There's the ass paper and the dick wipes. There's the ass paper and the dick wipes. And both don't feel good on my nose, so I got a box of these. And both don't feel good on my nose, so I got a box of these. Both don't feel good on my nose, so I got a. When you reach a certain age, when you reach a certain age, you got a lot of papers for your body. When you reach a certain age, you got a lot of papers for your body. When you reach a certain age, you got a lot of papers for your body. You got a lot of papers for your body. There's around 5 minutes left. There's around 5 minutes left. I'm not really counting down the time, it's just. I'm not really counting down the time, it's just. I'm not really counting down the time, it's just. I'm not really counting. It's not so much that I'm bored or tired. It's just not so much that I'm bored or tired. I want to be out of the shower, say before 6. I want to be out of the shower. It's a little after 5 now. It's a little after. I'll be getting over here like a little before quarter after. Getting over here like. I'm gonna want to like. I'm gonna want to shower. I'm gonna want to shower. But yeah, I might want to eat something.
But I ate a lot today.
Yeah, I might want to eat
I had a nice portion of macaroni and cheese with spiral ham pieces, and rice and beans with chopped turkey. Rice and beans with really just so good. Chopped rice and beans with really just so good. Chopped rice and beans with really just. You don't really taste the rice, so I wonder if I could just have like beans. You don't really taste the rice, so I wonder. Leave the rice out. If I could just have like beans. You don't really taste the rice, so I wonder. Leave the rice out. If I could just have like beans. You don't really taste the rice, so I wonder. Leave the rice out. I gotta look see what the nutrition profile is like. You know, I gotta look see what the nutrition profile is like. Am I just cutting calories, or am I cutting good nutrients too? Am I just cutting calories, or am I cutting good nutrients too? Because unrefined carbs are not hard for me to pack in. Because unrefined carbs are not hard. I eat a lot of vegetables. Because unrefined carbs are not hard. I eat a lot of vegetables. One thing I want to start doing again, I would steam vegetables and then put them in a big Tupperware and just like microwave them in the refrigerator. And then put them in a big Tupperware and just like microwave them in the refrigerator. But now that I'm making these vegetable soups, they're just, they're tastier. Nutrition is just as good, but nutrition is just as good. Like, the sodium is super high. So I might keep the steamed vegetables. It used to be cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and then peas and carrots. Now it's just peas and carrots and then Brussels sprouts. Now it's just peas and carrots and then Brussels sprouts. I have a big bowl of that, and portion out big servings, and portion out big servings. Got a little tired of steamed cauliflower. Got a little tired of steamed. I like cauliflower, but I like it fresh. Got a little tired of steamed. I like cauliflower, but I like it fresh. I like cauliflower. Broccoli, I got kind of tired of. Great nutrients. Broccoli, I got kind of tired of. I can get them elsewhere. Broccoli, I got kind of tired of. Peas and carrots, I love. I used to mix them in with mashed potatoes. I might start doing that again. I used to mix them in with the mashed potatoes are heavily processed, though, the kind you just add water to. The mashed potatoes are heavily processed, though, the kind you just add water to. The mashed potatoes are heavily processed, though, the kind you just add water to. My sister got a free bag of 5-pound potatoes. 5-pound bag of potatoes with a Walmart order. She didn't order it, but it was left there, so screw it. Walmart order. She didn't order it. She gave them to me. I have to do something with them. She gave them to me. I have to do something with them. Let's say by Monday. Otherwise, I'm going to throw them out. Let's say by Monday, because they've been sitting there for like a month and a half now. Let's say by Monday, because they've been sitting. I don't want them. Oh, weird. I don't want them plotting against me. I don't want them growing little legs and running around the house. Growing little legs and running around the house. Growing little legs and running around the house. So around a minute left. So around a minute left. The end of my inane babble. So around a minute left. The end of my inane 4.93 miles. So that's 12.93 miles. So that's 12.93 miles. So that's 12.93 miles. Might do a longer cool off. Might do a longer cool off. Might do a longer cool off. Yeah. Might do a longer cool off. Yeah. Yeah. Close to the edge. Close to the end. Close to the edge. Close to the end. Close to the edge. Down by the river. Down by the river. Down by the river. 4.99. 4.99. So yeah. The next time it cycles through, we're going to be we're going to be past the 13 mile. The next time it cycles through, we're going to be. And I think I'm going to do like a 5-minute cool off. The next time it cycles through, and I think I'm going to do like a 5-minute cool off. The next time it cycles through, and I think I'm going to do like a 5-minute cool off. Yep. So down to 3.6. So down to 3.6.
down to 3.6. Down to 3.6. Down to 3.6. I really do love this tripod, though. I have a tripod. Treadmill. I really do love this tripod, though. I have a tripod. I love this treadmill immensely. I love this treadmill immensely. And if that bolt that's rattling around, and if that front roll rattling around ends up seizing this thing, I'm going to be very sad. I'm just going to get another one. I'm going to be very sad. Going down to 3.2 miles an hour for a minute or two. Going down to 3.2 miles an hour for a minute or two. That feels nice. Going down to 3.2 miles an hour for a minute or two. That feels nice. Going down to 3.2 miles an hour for a minute or two. That feels nice. Going down to 3.2 miles an hour for a minute or two. That feels nice. Ah. Feels good. It really does. Feels good on so many levels. I mean, physically. Feels good. Talk about the dopamine hit. Physically. Feels good. Talk about. I don't really get it from this. For me, like the inspiration is just to like improve my health, and to look better. Just to like improve my health. For years, I just completely lacked the right kind of vanity. Just the right kind where you. The right kind of vanity, just the right kind where you look good, you want to look better, that kind of thing. You look good, you want to look better. Not that you want to look better than anyone else. You look good, you want to look better. Not that you want to look better than anyone else. You look good, you want to look better. Not that you want to look better than anyone else. And you know what you could look like. Not that you want to look better than anyone else. And you know what you could look like. Not that you want to look better. And you know it's achievable. You know what you could look like. And you know it's achievable. You know what you see it. Blah blah blah. And you know it's achievable. You know what you see it. Blah blah blah. And you know it's achievable. You know what you see it. Blah blah blah. And you know it's achievable. See it. Blah blah blah. And you know it's achievable. See it. Blah blah blah. I'm 5'6". I'll never be 6 feet tall. I'm 5'6". On heels I can be 5'9". I'm 5'6". But I'm never going to throw on 6-inch heels. It's just not me. But I'm never going to throw on 6-inch heels. I like the boots, the chunky heels. I don't like the boots. I don't like stilettos or kitten heels or any of that. I like the boots. I don't like stilettos or kitten heels or any of that. Don't think I'll ever put on a pair of pumps. I'm not that fan. Don't think I'll ever put on, I'm not that fan. Don't think I'll ever put on, I'm not. The styles I like really aren't all that alien. Styles I like really aren't all that. I'm just going for more colors. And I'm just going for more colors. Softer angles. I'm just going for more colors. Softer look. Softer angles. And people say, "Oh, what are you, soft?" And no, that's kind of what I'm aiming for, though. Soft. No, that's kind of what I'm aiming for. 58. Tired of 58. Tired of pissing contests and dick swinging contests. I don't deliver out of the Walmart near me because one of the receipt checkers wanted to get into a dick swinging contest. Receipt checkers wanted to get. I'm swinging contest. Receipt checker. And I think he's older than me. So for this guy, and I think he's older than me. I mean, I paint my fucking nails. So how much of a threat am I? I paint my fucking nails. So how much apparently I'm a threat to him. So he had to, pull his dick out, and so he had to sue that motherfucker. Pull his dick out and swing around his head. Sue that motherfucker. Let the world know. Swinging around his head, and he's such a fucking character too. Swinging around his head, and he's such a fucking character too. I just don't. I shop there. I just don't. I shop there. I don't work out of that store anymore. It sucks because it's a mile and a half from my house. You know, it's a mile and a half from my house. You know, really sucks. But you know, really sucks. If that's the worst I have to deal with, then if I consider myself very fortunate. Going down to 2.4 for a minute or two. Going down to 2.4 for a minute or two. Going down to 2.4. The bottom of my feet feel like they've walked 13 miles. My legs, my legs, right now, my thighs and my calves are laughing at my feet, saying, "Are you really?" My feet are saying, "No." Are you really? The asshole upstairs is making us quit. No. Are you really? The asshole upstairs is making us quit. And my hips, knees, and ankles are like, my hips, knees, and things are still good for now. My hips, knees, and things are still good for now. My hips, knees, and things are still good. Ah, this is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. Ah, this is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. I used to walk a lot when I was young, but I never really measured the distance. I still when I was young. That I never really measured the distance. I still when I was young. That I never really measured the distance. I think it amounted to like 14 miles. You know, the whole trip. I think it amounted to like 14 miles. You know, from my job. I think it was a Toys R Us at the time. Up to the check cashing place in Brentwood on Fifth Avenue, down to the hobby shop on Saxon Avenue and Sunrise, and then back to my house on Namdak Avenue on the edge of West Oxford. I think it came out to 14 miles. For me, it was an entire 14 miles. For me, it was an entire start like 9 in the morning. I'd get to Toys R Us like a little after 10. They told me that the payroll wasn't going to be ready until 10, so I would aim to be there like quarter after 10, so they're not rushed. So I would aim to be there like quarter after 10. And then go up to Fifth Avenue. And then go up to Fifth Avenue, maybe a little more. And then go up to Fifth Avenue, maybe a little more. And then walk back down into South Shore Mall. And cut from the South Shore Mall to Saxon Avenue. And cut from the South Shore. And I remember I would hit that would be Bob's Hobbies, Space Shore Hobbies. I remember I would hit. We called it Bob's Hobbies after the guy who ran the place. And after the guy who ran the place. Oh. Yeah, I would get there around 1:30, 2 o'clock. Yeah, I would get home around 3 or 4 o'clock, something like that. Yeah, I'll get home around 3 or 4. I would stop along the way a lot of times. I couldn't wait to get home. I would stop along the way a lot of times. I couldn't sit under a tree, smoke a joint, and read some rule books. Sit under a tree, Steve Jackson games, or I stopped by in TSR for a while. There was Middle Earth role playing. I started getting those things. There was Middle Earth role. Got a funny story about those, but I'll save it for next time. There was Middle Earth role. Got a funny story down this guy for next time. Shutting down this guy. 13 miles. Shutting down this guy. 13 miles. Shutting down 13 miles. I don't want to get 13 miles. Too risky with my legs. You know, I gotta keep into consideration my age. I gotta keep into consideration. I don't feel like an old fart, but I am an old fart. Anyway, many blessings and many thanks. I'll be back tomorrow with my upper body dumbbell workout, and I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, take care. Best wishes to you and all you love. Good health. Until then, take care. Best wishes to you and all you love. Good health. Until then, take care. Best wishes.